You're a fitness coach?
Yeah, online fitness coach. I've been doing that for about 2 years.
Ah, speak of the
Well,
devil.
there he is. There's my mentor.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? I was just connecting with Emmanuel here.
Yes, sir.
So,
What did he
uh,
tell you? Did he tell you I'm the worst?
yeah, I was just talking like a ton of shit about you.
I was
You
asking how
know,
I can switch over.
one of the things that helped push Manny over the edge is something that we talk about a lot, which was he had already bought a program. He bought like a course on running ads. So I was like,
Yeah,
why don't you just do that? Why don't you just do that, dude? He's like, well, I don't want to.
yeah. Why not?
Then pay me then.
Yeah, man. You have any sales related questions? You go with Manny or Emmanuel? Manny?
Manny, yeah.
Manny.
No, I'm pretty much just open to hearing what you talk about and see what I can learn.
Yeah. So, I mean, generally in these calls, like we could do call reviews, maybe role plays, general sales training. Sometimes I look at people's pitches. Um, I, dude, I did a 2 hour call review for Jacob here, and my computer started freezing, and it deleted the last 40 minutes of it. I was pissed. We're gonna go through your. I went through your pitch, through the price drop, through everything, dude.
Do you want to go through the pitch and price drop then? I
Yeah,
know you
man.
already.
Bring up the pitch again. Yeah, your slide deck.
You want me to show it to you?
Yeah,
Uh, by the
and
way, Manny closes. He does high, well, medium. Oh, what the hell?
yeah, I was gonna ask like what's the price point? Like, what? Tell me about your offer.
Yeah, tell him about your offer while I pull that up.
My offer right now is $1,500 for 4 months of coaching, which is 16 weeks.
For four months?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's broken down to like 370 a month if you were to break it down like that.
And
Most of my
who do you work with?
everybody. Yeah, I didn't niche down. I pretty
Ah,
much help everyone. Yeah.
Fitness
I have
coach.
competitor bodybuilding clients. I have a lot of women clients, postpartum moms. I have older clients. Yeah.
interesting. Hmm.
Tell him
And
how you sell.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Let's yeah. Is there something
So
special about your sales process?
no, so I do a lot of studies and so I don't ever talk about the diet itself, I let them explain to me what they feel they struggle with. And then I just use that to tell them, okay, well, you pretty much from what I heard, number one, you don't have a plan. That's our biggest issue. Sleep should be your number one priority. If I guarantee you, if you sleep 8 hours tonight, you're gonna wake up 5 pounds lighter, which is it's your body flushes out overnight. So that's the first thing they usually do. And then they come back and they text me like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." But my main focus is to remind them that there's no point in doing any of this if we're not healthy. So a lot of what I do and talk about is just about them, their health, their hormones, what I feel we can improve with if it's men, optimizing their testosterone, if it's women, fixing their cortisol, their stress, just whatever they have going on daily. Usually I do a call for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and the problem is not closing. I can pretty much close every time I get on the phone. The problem right now is actually getting on the call. Because
He does
I do have my VA pre-qualifying everybody because I was just getting on too many calls that weren't. Um,
he does just
Okay.
phone calls, no sales calls. I mean, no intro calls, just straight up IG phone number to pitching on like the first time they get on a phone call.
Yeah. So you're closing everybody, pretty much.
yeah, for the most part.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
How long
pretty.
have you been charging 1,500 for?
How long has it been, Jake?
Month and a half, two
I was
months.
at 1,000, and then I was closing too many deals where I was like, all right, if I open up to 1,500, I don't see a problem. I opened up to 1,500, and it hasn't been a
Yeah.
problem, so I'm considering going up to 2,000.
It was 9.99 when I first met him.
Yeah.
And then I go, all right, how often are you closing? Well, all the time. All right, raise it. He raised it, and then like one or two people said no. So he went back down. I'm like, bro,
Dude, like
you doing?
if I would say like if you're closing over 50%, you're not charging enough.
And I also I get this feedback from my clients because I'm not able to tell every so apart from the coaching, I have a client group chat where I post all my lectures, which I should have like a school set up to where I have my lectures, but on that client group chat, everybody, all my clients are posting their meals, posting their workouts, and that's where I post like my lectures that I do about other things that are not included in their plan that I want them to learn, whether it's like how insulin works, how carbs work, just teaching them on there. But everybody really seems to like that. Like they feel like they're really part of something. And once I started that group chat,
Hmm.
it made everybody feel like they were part of a team. So now whenever they post on their stories, they're posting Team West Coast, and it really helped out a lot.
Mm. Yeah, man. I know a few fitness coaches. I'm supposed to sell on a fitness software starting tomorrow. They charge 6K for 6 months
Oh,
or
wow.
or 9K for the year. I have another friend who owns a gym and he sells it's a personal training gym. So you basically have to sign up for personal training to go there. And he charges 5K for 6 months. Um, he used to charge 5K for the year, but
Mhm.
once we got him to fix his pitch, um, he's able to charge. I think he's going to go down to 5K for 4 months, but it's 5K for 6 months. That basically doubled the revenue of his
Yeah,
business. He
yeah.
closes really high. He closes like 80%.
Oh, wow.
Um, his problem's also getting sales calls or enough of them. But
It's pretty
yeah,
much.
dude, you have a valuable offer. You're not just doing your basic like workout plans, meal plans, accountability like every other person. You're helping them with their hormones, dude. Like I have a my other friend who's in the UK, British guy, obviously. Um, his he was doing like a fitness, but with a hormone testosterone based approach, like focus. So most of his clients were men, obviously. In fact, all of his clients were men. Usually, people that are more successful or maybe in their like late 30s, 40s, who are starting to struggle with low T, low sex drive, and he would do blood work. So that was part of it. But he would charge, I don't know, minimum 5K, most likely closer to seven, if not 10, just by going after people with more money with a more specific offer. And then you're hitting on more pain points that other fitness coaches are generally aren't talking about or aren't specialized in.
Yeah.
So
I
the
feel
same
like
amount of work, we're talking triple, if not five times the amount of pay.
yeah, whenever I get on these calls, they're usually surprised that I talk about everything else besides the actual meal plan. Because most of my clients have come to me from other coaches, from other training programs, and on the call, I teach them so much about things that they didn't know or they didn't learn, and they're like, "Well, it's crazy because I've never heard of anything of this." And I was like, "Yeah, well, that's the problem. You didn't learn what you needed to learn to keep your results. That's why you're here." So then I focus on like the education side.
So
Mm.
what I'm hearing is that the prices need to go up.
Dude, 100%. Like, I would say test it. Like, I would double it. I would just say, hey, it's 3K for the same amount of time. 3K. If you pay in full, 2,400 or something, you give them a discount if they sign up and pay in full, or it's 3K over 3 months, or if you pay in full, it's 2,400 or some shit like that.
I like that.
Uh, but yeah. What's up, Kareem? What's up, Marco? Good to see you guys.
What's up, bro? It's been a minute.
Too
What's up?
long.
What's up? Yeah. Just man, just trying to figure out the whole business, man. Just these ads, I don't know, I just started these ads and I've done it 2 weeks now. I just have not been generating any followers, dude. And of course that's a whole other subject matter, but I mean, damn, in these sales calls, like I just filmed up a new VSL and I'm like,
Yeah.
these objections, man. These objections. I just can't, of course it's not a matter I can't do it. I'm learning. That's why I'm here, but
What
like
objections? Begin.
dude, I got this guy literally was like super down, and he was like, "Oh, my partner's on here, right?" And I look back on the call, and I'm like, he literally said something about like, "Oh, I want my, I want to be where my kids, I want to spend more time with my wife and kids and my family, blah blah blah." I've been doing this for a while, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that was right after he had just told me that he wants to wait till his partner gets on the call, and he even said during that call, he's like, "Oh, I'm making like $1.2 million in revenue last year," or
Are we
and I
talking
was
partner like his wife,
no, it's like an
business
actual
partner?
like business partner. Yeah.
Okay. And
And
did you call him up at
I
any
just told
point
him
to ask if he had a business partner in any part of your sales process?
that's the thing, that's where I fucked up. So there's like things in my intro call setups. I always dice it's look, I'm aware of the things. It's
Or you're
like the
just not
things
doing them?
it's because some things I'm not as prepared in the moments in the calls. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a document that lists it clearly, I guess.
I would have like a checklist, something simple.
Yeah, just follow around with me. That's what I need to start doing.
The one I
Um,
used to use, like before I got into the mastermind that I'm in now, like I would always take my notes. It would be shorthand. What's upstairs? Like I would literally just have my notes. It would be like P D C F G T P 1 2 3 4. Is that seven? 1 2 3 4. Yeah, seven. So like this kind of like came from Cole Gordon stuff, but like pain, doubt, cost, finances, goals, trust, and then partner slash spouse. And there's probably another one too. If I was really thinking about it, probably timing, timing slash urgency. Obviously, like basically what I would do is I would either I'll explain these. Is this like another format that you can think through? But like I would either take shorthand notes or like check them off if I'm like, okay, I heard this one. Doubt is like they don't like they need help basically. They don't feel like they can solve it alone.
yeah. And you know what? Like
Um,
this
finances. Okay, cool. Like I have like a green flag or a red flag or like, check it off if we talked about it. Um,
Mhm.
cost cost of inaction, basically. Like what's it currently costing? Well, it's costing them 50K a month. 50, whatever.
What if they
Costs
tell
50 a
you
month
like,
and
"Oh, there's nothing. We'll be fine. We're just not gonna make more money than we are, but we're making good money." What
well,
and what if
well, they wouldn't be on a call if they're just happy with the amount of money that they're making. I don't believe that. Why would they waste their
I've
time?
had so many
They're happy.
times, dude, where people are just like, "Oh, but like it's not like sometimes I feel like I have calls with people and people are like, "Yeah, no, I just want to make more money. Like, I just want to make more money. It'd be cool. I mean, I'm making money right now, but like, who doesn't want more money? You know?" Dude, and in
Want
that
more money.
situation,
So how much money are you making right now? And how much revenue did you make in the last 30 days? How much of that was profit? And how much did you pay yourself? Okay. And what are your monthly expenses? Okay, got it. So you're paying yourself after everything's said and done 4K a month and your monthly expenses are 3,500. Is that accurate? Yeah. Okay. So that leaves you an extra $500. And how many hours a week are you working? 40 to 50. Okay. So you're working like 200 hours a week, somewhere between 160 to 200 hours a week right now. But what I'm hearing is you're only left over with $500 for personal income. You said
mhm.
you want to make more money. I mean, I guess based on the situation you're in, is there anything that maybe you're not able to do right now financially or within the business that you need to make more money for? So, like, first thing I'm going to do is turn essentially like everyone has unlimited wants, but if we're talking about urgency, we have to turn wants into needs.
Mhm.
And the main difference is a want is something that you can solve in the future. A need is something you need to solve right now. It's affecting you right now.
Mhm.
And so I just don't believe it. Like, like even if they're making okay, well, what would be like good money? Okay, dude, my business is
The
making
guy made 30, this guy was telling me he was making $30,000 per client, 10 to $30,000 per client. And he had just gotten 8 clients during the same month that he called me.
okay. So he made 240K revenue this month.
Yeah. And he's an insurance adjuster.
Okay. Hmm. Well, considering that you got 8 clients this month, any particular reason why you don't just double down on what got you the 8 clients?
Well, I just think it's going to be easier for me to, be at
Okay.
my place rather than have to go to the networking events and all the talking that I had to do to find people.
Okay, got it. So, like, tell me about that. So, you said you're going to network events, doing a lot of talking. Like, is there anything else you're doing to generate leads right now?
No,
Okay.
just
How many
people,
networking events did you go to this past month?
mm, maybe like 6,
6. Okay. And on average, like, how many hours would you be at each networking event?
about an hour.
Okay. So you got like 6 hours there networking. And then when you said you're spending a lot of time talking, like, what do you mean? Like just following up with people, or what exactly?
Yeah, I'm making calls, but people were
Okay.
sending referrals.
Yeah. About how many hours would you say that you're spending just making calls or lead generating outside of the networking
Uh,
events?
was it 6 hours? Because I just get the referrals.
Okay. So like 12 hours total.
Yeah.
Got it. And then I guess what are you doing with the rest of your time with the business or just in your life in general outside of the 12 hours this past month?
Helping my clients.
Okay, so fulfillment. Interesting. Okay. So I guess outside of, just the time, is there anything else that's gotten you wanting to maybe have people coming to you versus you having to go to networking events or call people?
Well, I can make so much more money if I just had more people,
Okay.
coming in on a regular basis. I mean, I got a high ticket offer.
Okay. I mean, if you had to guess, like how much more do you think you could make if you made 240K last month?
Gosh, 500,000 maybe.
Okay. So you can essentially double the business per month.
Totally.
Gotcha. And how long have you been basically running the business in this way, going to the networking events and doing it this way?
I'll be transparent with this example. So the guy said, "Yeah, no, I've been doing it for a month. This was my first month."
A month. Okay.
Yeah,
What were you doing before that?
I was an employee.
Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, dude, like considering the fact that you just started this, it is working. Like, is there any reason why you can't just go to 12 networking events, or just call more people rather than having to do something completely new? Like, is there anything I'm missing?
I just think I can make so much more money.
Okay.
And I have money to invest. I mean, I'm making a lot of money. I'm thinking, why not invest in marketing? It's like, make more money.
Yeah. Well, just to pause there, I'm like, well, okay, so you want to make more money. Um, we already have some math. There's like, okay, well, you think you can double the business, and essentially this is going to cost you 260K every single month that you're not doing this. Plus, you're having to go to events. Like I could probably, okay, so where are these events? Like, are they close? Do you have to drive? Like,
I have to drive about
like
10
how far?
minutes and 20 minutes.
Okay. So you also have driving time. So you're talking another hour or so each way, plus calling people. Um, what else would we want to know about this guy?
I think
Yeah.
through this experience, Ben, the portion where you identified, hey, okay, you're making this much where you think you can be if you were to market, that was the thing that I didn't make the connection to because I didn't identify that end goal for him. If I identified that end goal and said, hey, like, to
Yeah.
get to that goal of $500, because the whole goal was let's make more money because you have a great offer.
Yeah,
Demand,
more money isn't a
obviously.
bullshit goal.
You know, you got 8 clients just word of mouthing it, going to these events. There's got
Yeah.
to be a high demand for your offer. So that's where I'll say,
Yeah.
because I definitely picked up from what you just said. It's like, okay, well, if you want to make more money, let's establish, you know, what that is for you, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So if I were going off this, I'd be like, okay, I know this fucker probably has the money. We didn't go into like your profit or anything like that, or if those are payment plans split up over how long. But I'm like, okay, is there a massive amount of pain here? Maybe not, but there is a cost of inaction. Like we can 100% point to this later. Um, I might ask, okay, have you tried to run marketing before? Do you have any experience with that?
he had
If you
zero.
go figure it out yourself, no, okay, got it. Have you reached out to anyone in the past to get help with that?
That
No.
would have been a good question. Yeah.
Would be a good question. Yeah. Have you looked into other marketing channels? Do you have any idea which one would work best? How are you going to decide?
hmm Yeah, this is definitely this is valuable to me, Ben. I want to make best use of your time. So I'm gonna ask, what would you
This is the
do
big one. Like, where's the urgency coming from? Essentially. Okay, so
exactly?
we
Do
started
you
this
guys
30 days
decline
ago.
people if they don't have urgency? If you're just like able to identify that this
I
really
would
doesn't
unsell.
matter to you?
I would for sure unsell them. Considering that you just started this 30 days ago and you made a really good amount of money for a lot of people. I'm not sure if that's your goal. It sounds like your
But
goal is
if
double.
somebody says that like, hey, I just want to make more money. Like I'm already making
Yeah,
one
well,
point
like so
million,
does everybody though.
1.2
But
million in revenue every month, not every month, excuse me, every year. I just want more money though.
I'll jump in here if you don't mind, Ben, because I think I might have
Sure.
something that's valuable to share with you, Marco. So I definitely agree with what Ben is saying, and I actually use this strategy for myself and ended up closing one guy who's a window tinting guy. And we spoke, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm spending like with this marketing company like $1,000 a month on lead formats, and then I make 10x. So I bring in 10K every time I spend $1,000 a month." I was like, "Okay, makes total sense." I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I think that's great numbers. I genuinely only work with people who are in a desperate need to change their business because we've changed lives overnight and businesses overnight, flip them upside down. It sounds like you're doing very well for yourself. So I don't want to actually waste time here. Like what we have is tremendously valuable, but I would be lying to you if I told you that those numbers aren't healthy. And when I pulled back out, he flipped that frame. He's like, "No, I'm interested. I'm always looking to do better." And then he ended up closing
yeah,
himself. So with those people, flip it back on them, unsell yourself, let them trap themselves into the sale.
Did you do that
yeah,
during an intro call or did you do that during a closing
On the
call?
intro, on the intro,
And
on
you
the intro.
closed
Don't
them
waste your
during the
time.
intro call?
No, 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 no. And I when I knew that, then because it's a higher quality lead, then I'm gonna put my effort to go out and meet him in a coffee shop or whatever, like actually go and see him in person. I was like, okay, because of that, I'd love to meet up with you in person. Or I'd love to grab a coffee with you, whatever. And then I went and invited him out for a coffee and closed him in person. But I
you
let
for
like
sure could have just
mhm,
asked first. Okay, so since you're spending 1,000 to make 10K, why don't you just spend
mhm.
3K or 5K and see if it turns into fucking 30 or 50K?
I did ask that, but basic his answer to that was like, I'm doing too many shitty estimates for no reason. So yes, my close rate is
Okay.
there, but I'm
Oh,
wasting
okay.
so much time. I was like, yes,
Got it.
then
Got
that 100%
it. So
makes
why,
more
if you
sense.
do you feel like with maybe building a brand or doing what I'm doing would help you get less shitty estimates? Oh, well, because you know what I mean?
Mhm. Would you say I didn't save? I saved that for the closing call, not the intro call.
Okay. That works too.
Okay.
Interesting.
That
Uh,
actually works because when I did my call with Jacob, that's actually how he closed me because he said, "Well, it seems like said you already bought the program to learn how to run ads." He's like, "You already have everything. You don't really need me." He's like, "I don't think you need this."
Mhm.
And that bitch just made me want to like, bro, come on, take my money. I'm here.
He
Yeah.
was
well,
like, he's like,
if
wait,
you
I'm
didn't
like,
do that, like let's say that Jacob didn't say that, and then he went through the pitch, and maybe Jacob was having an off day, and he felt like he was kind of pushing you into doing it because you had that back door. You could have probably been like, you know what, I did buy this other course. I want to see if I can do that first, and then come back.
Mhm.
But since we closed that door up front, basically the whole premise, the whole um, idea here is that if you want to create commitment in a certain direction, get out of here. It's like these people. I always think of it like this. This circle represents a person, and they have all these different options that they could take, right? And so let's just say there's four things, including this one is working with you. One of these is doing nothing, uh, and for nothing. This one is DIY. You know, um, this one is um, I don't know, another solution. Maybe this is another solution, like option two. Like they're thinking of Google or SEO. And so, like systematically, this is this everything here represents 100%. You know, this is like one. So there's five things here. Basically, their commitment is split up five ways, right? And so, if you want to get somebody to go in one direction, well, if you say, okay, well, any reason why you don't want to just stay where you're at? Well, no, 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 because of this. Okay, cool. So that increases every other, the commitment to every other direction. Well, why don't you just double down what you're doing now? Or since you already got this course, why don't you just go through that? No, 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 I don't want to. Okay, why not? Okay, da da da. Got that one down. Okay, and so compared to Google, right, just running Google ads or doing SEO versus having a brand on Instagram, which one do you feel like would work the best? Okay, why do you say that? Okay, why wouldn't you go with Google? Okay, that makes sense. What about SEO? Yeah, okay, it's too slow. Got it. And now we have like 100% commitment going in this direction. It's the idea.
So just it's like super hard qualifying and just be ready to like walk away. Be like, you know what? No. Obviously, you're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
great. You don't
Yeah, yeah.
need
So
this.
like what my mentor taught me was like like frame control. The ultimate frame control is like the unsell, right? So this is your frame. It like what he taught me is like, okay, they need to have a burning problem, something they need to solve today. So they need to solve it now. They need strong desire and commitment to solve it, which we just kind of just went through. They need to uh, basically admit to us they need help and can't solve it alone. And then they need to trust us at a certain level to help them solve their problem. And so essentially, if somebody is over, like you're 10 to 15 minutes into the call, they don't have a burning problem, or they do, but they don't have a strong desire and commitment to solve it, or they do, but they think that they can solve it themselves, or even if they all three of these are like check marks, but then they don't really trust you, it's like you can unselling them is just like, well, anyone that I would work with, you know, for us to really do good work together, you have to, number one, do what I say. And because it sounds like you've been burnt before and you just have some trust issues, I'm guessing that's part of the reason why you're still stuck. But it's also part of the reason why if I did sign you up for my service, I don't think that you would get good results. And so for that reason, we're not in alignment. So if that changes, if you want to come back in later, more than happy. But there's really nothing else for us to talk about. Oh, no, no, I'm willing to get over it. Okay, why? What do you mean? You got to tie them down. It's the same thing. It was like if it's 10 to 15 minutes in the call, dude, I'm just not really hearing that this is a burning problem. Right? Like anyone that's actually going to take action to Kareem's point, they're in a situation where they need to change. It might not be that they're broke, but like they are no longer willing to be at the level of business that they're at or the level of physique if you're Manny here. And for that reason, because you don't have that, I just don't think that this would make sense. This like it just wouldn't make sense. Like I don't think you would take action today. I don't think that you would take action in the program. And you
Mhm.
unsell it. And then they were like, no, no, no. They'll either flip, they'll either be like, they'll go, yes, you're right, and they'll leave, in which case they weren't going to buy anyway, or they will fall into your frame.
And I think the reason why that works is because I remember my thought process going into the call, and I remember knowing number one that I was gonna buy, because I was looking for that service and I was needing it. But just knowing that I was going into this call with him and knowing that he was gonna try to sell to me, it put me on that edge of like, okay, I'm gonna try to
Defense. Yeah.
bluff as much as I can and try to get the best deal, you know. So whenever he said, "Yeah, I don't think you need this," I was like, "Oh shit," you know. So what are we doing?
Now you're like, I have to convince you that I need it. And so
Yeah,
essentially there's like the buyer seller dynamic. He flipped it.
yeah.
Terrace, dude, what's up? What's your question?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
So I had a Zoom call today. New pitch deck that I kind of got inspired with. Jacob worked really well. I've been
Oh
using
yeah,
that.
Jacob, pull up your pitch deck in a second. Once we're done.
Uh, but it's working well because I'm sticking to like a framework, and you can tell like they're getting educated and they're moving along the process.
Yeah.
So this was a kind of a weird one because at the end, this was a longer call, like an hour, 30 minutes, probably one of my longest ones, because there was a lot of rapport being built, and then we dove a lot deeper into the system, which I don't know if we should have done, but once we got to the end, we have two options, 7,500 and 12,000. And he's like, well, I already have this. I don't really need this. And I was like, cool, what if we do a custom offer and I can get you instead of this, we'll put you right in the middle at 9K and make it happen. He's like, yeah, man. He was excited to work with me, but he wanted to like think about it. So I was like, what is there to think about? Type of thing. And then I was like, what if we do like because he's like, is it a solid price at 9,000? I was like, yeah. And then you can tell he's like kind of like, oh, okay, I have to check my budget, allocate the funds. I was like, okay, what if we do $4,500 now and then $4,500 after that? And he's like, yeah, let's make it happen. I was like, cool. I'm sending you the payment link right now. Let me draft up the contract. So I sent it over, but the problem is I didn't have a contract with the custom stuff that we agreed to. And then second of all, he's like, you know what? Um, let me look over everything and I can get back to you in like a day or two. And then I was like, dude, I feel like I could have closed him on the spot, but I like choked at the very end. Um,
Yeah.
I've ran
so
into that literally, dude. That's like probably every single one of my calls so far. Like,
yeah,
it's just like if I don't do like, hey, let's do like a split, it's like, so you can, after you get your first sale, right? But it's the same thing. It's like they hit me with that, just think about it, or that's it. I need a day. I'm like, I tell them, look, I even gotten to the point now. Ben, tell me if this is probably not. It's probably not a good thing to say, but I tell them, look, I've been in a lot of these meetings before, right? Well, I usually pretense it with this. Like humans are typically not comfortable with change, right? What you're doing will be a life changing experience in the context of your business and for the dynamic of how much success you're going to be able to find. Now, granted, with that being said,
Yeah.
statistically,
I could tell you that your frame is backwards, but keep going.
okay, I'm going to continue either ways, right? Because I have to learn. I'm like, hey, then if I've already had plenty of these meetings, if you leave today, I've literally have 0% of individuals who come back. And it's because of the fact that people are scared to change. And that's going to be the case. I mean, I'm 100% certainty. You're going to go off of this call. You're going to go right back into your day-to-day life. You're going to do the same things you've done before to get jobs, and you're going to get comfortable. That's just real. And you're gonna be like, you know what? I don't need this because I'm surviving within what I'm doing. But you're never gonna have that change because you didn't make the decision to change.
Might be true, but is it effective?
I mean, you tell me, Ben. I mean, I'll tell you it's not because you
Okay.
haven't
Well,
had
if they're
anybody be
closing,
like,
if they're closing, keep doing it. If they're not
right.
closing. Well, first thing is you're like focusing on the positive. Like at the hypothetical, you're going to have all the success. Whereas in my philosophy, in our like the philosophy is like they're not buying a future result, they're buying the removal of the current problem, which is keeping them where they're at. So like the current problem, which is costing them this much every single month and this much stress, you have to go to these events, you got to drive there, you got to shake people's hand. Sometimes it's a waste of fucking time. You don't like it. Well, dude, like if you just had a brand with a strategy and marketing behind it, like then you would have people coming to you every single day, knowing about you. You wouldn't have to go to these events. You can be closing deals from the comfort of your own home. But because you don't have that, you're stuck doing this stupid business strategy that you don't like. How much longer do you want to keep doing that strategy, wasting time driving to events, to use your words, versus just start building the brand and have people coming to you.
Mm.
See how it's opposite? It's not like, oh, dude, you're gonna have so much success. Da, da, da. I wouldn't try to like, it just doesn't work because it's too hypothetical. But they do know how much they don't like their current situation and how if you can just identify like the one thing, if you just remove this, it's going to solve all these problems. Like for example, like let's say you work with like a realtor, and the realtor, they want more seller leads because like in the realtor's world, buyer leads are a lot more work. They make less money. You got to work on the weekends, all this stuff. You have the seller leads, then you have way more leverage and you make more money and it's just better. Like let's say the realtor has been working their ass off doing these seller leads, going to open homes, missing time with their family on the weekend, they're not making that much money, and they're like their wife's angry at them. They're not there for the kids. Like it's causing friction at home. They're poor, they're fucking poor. They're wasting the time. They hate driving around, wasting time. Sometimes people don't show up to the open houses. It's like, well, it sounds like, the main problem that we have to remove is that you just don't have a system to get seller leads, right? Like you don't have a system to get in front of every single person who's either thinking of selling their home right now or going to be in the next in the short term. You're right. Yeah, that would solve. Yeah, if you could just get if you could just get 4 listings a month, that would be, 20, 30K or whatever. I mean, would that basically solve all your problems? Yeah. Okay, well, if you want, I can show you how my strategy can help you get those listings. I'm like, dude, like, yeah, I'm in. Like, how does it work? Are you sure? You don't have to. No, no, no. So, yeah, there's that. Like, to just go back, like, so just like the frame of like removal, like they're buying to remove the pain of their current situation rather than get something. Because that's hypothetical. And hypothetical is like, well, you're asking them for real money, versus like a hypothetical, it might work. And so you got to do a lot more convincing and persuading and all this shit versus just the facts of how bad it is and why they want to change. Like that's enough to sell people.
Yeah, I think
The
that's
rest of
what I'm
it,
messing up on entirely. That I'm just not getting. I'm just not getting the problem because every time I ask them, "Hey, why now? Why not later?" They give me something. Oh, I just want like more money or something of that sort, and
yeah,
I didn't know how to get that back. But
yeah.
now I'm just gonna be like, okay, then
You,
if you
you
don't
have
have
to,
burning
you have to
desire,
go
then
deeper
this is
into
not
the
for you.
conversation. If you don't go deep enough into the conversation and have like get to the real shit, like they'll give you a surface level answer for why now. This is how it works.
Yeah, when it comes to urgency, and one thing that I really do that I do that really helps is I like to paint the picture for them. So I tell them, look, 12 weeks from now, you could either be stuck in the same spot, or I can be posting your transformation online. You'll be in the best shape of your life, and you'll look back and be happy that you joined. And it usually works. But another thing that I've learned is, um one thing that's really helped me out is that when I know I have a hot lead, like I can have the best sales pitch and everything. But I've also learned that if I just send them the payment link, I'm giving them time to think, and then sometimes they don't even, like I just had my best pitch, and then they don't even pay for it. So what I'll do is I'll send them the link, and then I'll say, hey, let me walk you through it. Open up the link because I've had clients that want to do payments and they accidentally end up paying in full. So I don't want you to do that. So let's look at your options, and then try to close them through that process.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone in here, we all close on the
Collect
call.
cash, collect cash on the call 100%.
Big
Uh,
one, by the way, Marco, that helps that Ben talks about a lot. If I don't know if you are gathering like commitments before you price drop, but like one thing that helped a little bit, obviously discovery is the main thing. One thing that helped slightly is if they've been committing the whole time, I don't just go straight into the price drop. I like kind of like make them ask me to like give me the like
yeah.
so cool. Like, where do you want to go from here? And then they'll like pretty much
Yeah.
almost, it's weird. They're like begging me to tell them the price. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
And how do you leverage that, Jacob? Like, how do you
What do you
once
mean?
because I've had plenty of time. They're like, "All right, Marco, like this sounds wonderful. What is the price?" Right? Because I've had
Yeah.
that happen without
Oh,
me even
So
being
yeah, we'll
that
get to
involved.
sounds
that.
wonderful, but are you
We'll
a
get to
hundred
that
like
in a second. But first, I
yeah,
just want to make sure we're in alignment that you
yeah,
feel
exactly.
100% that this is what your next best step is, or whatever you're saying. Like, so like
It sounds
scale of 1
everything
to 10, 10 being like, this sounds perfect. One being, get me off the phone with this guy. Like, where are you on the process?
every single time, dude. They tell me I'm at a 9. The price is the only thing that makes me weary.
Well, then
Well, then
they're
you're not
not
at
at a
nine.
9. They're not sold at all.
Yeah, like if you knew 100% that this is going to work for you, is just guaranteed, like, like, would you still be at a nine? You still want to go and think about it? No. Okay, so how come you're not, like, let's talk about why you're not there yet. What part do you feel like maybe wouldn't work for you or that you just don't have some clarity on?
I had a guy say, "Well, you can't say you can't guarantee everything is going to happen in life. There's always going to be a risk for everything, no matter what.
Totally.
Even getting married, right? Like, that's what the guy used the
Big
example of,
fucking
right?
risk. 50% chance it's not going to work.
Right. So
So why do you do it? Why would you do it then? 90% of businesses fail. Why'd you start a business?
that would have been a good one.
Considering most people fail, you still did it. Why? Well, how is this
Fuck,
any
that would
different?
that would have been a close, dude. If I said that shit, oh my God, dude. Crazy. I felt that, and I felt like after I came out, I remember I thought of something like that when I left the meeting. But you said it perfectly, a lot better than I would have fucking formulated it. Just so many things like that, dude. I've had so many calls. It's fucking ridiculous, guys. My close rate is atrocious.
What is
Full
I feel like
transparency.
I don't know, but you might just need to like chill
Loosen
out.
up. I was
Yeah.
gonna say loosen up, bro. Like kind of high strung.
Like it's like they like chill out. I don't know how to explain it.
Like relax, dude. Like relaxation on the call is like one of the first things that was always on my, I'm like the top of my pre-call checklist. Relax. You know,
Look,
I want to be loose going to these calls.
Jacob, I'm genuinely interested. Look, I'll send you guys. I'll send you one of my calls. You can just give me like a reference of my energy. Okay. I would like to say that I'm very like, hey, all right, great. Let's get right into it. You're a busy business owner. I'm a busy business owner. Let's get into it. Okay. I want to be efficient. Make sure you understand everything. If you have any questions, let me know. You know, doing, being.
Do you,
Get
okay?
into it.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
feel like you know what to say, but you're just in the moment forgetting it, or you don't know what to say and you think about it after? Or you know what to
I
say, but you're just not saying it because you're scared. That's what
sometimes
sometimes.
I want to say I do some. I think it's a lot. Like I said, a lot of the intro call BS. Like I didn't ask them the right questions during that time to pre-qualify further. I think I have to
So you
say
don't know
it's
what to
probably like
ask.
it's got to be at least 50% for me. It's
Well,
just I'm
like
not
three
asking the
options.
right questions that otherwise would have gave me ammo to shoot down some objections.
Are you not asking because you don't know them, or you're just not asking them?
I'm running about. Sometimes I'll take a call and I don't have my paper next to me where I can look and making sure I'm checking off everything. And sometimes I don't write it down. I'll write it down on a notepad. Then the notepad
Okay.
goes, gets deleted or some bullshit. And I'm like, you know,
You're you don't write it by hand?
no, I'm horrible at writing in hand. I can barely understand my handwriting.
Do you know I mean there's a reason why like there there's something like I don't even know the number. It's like an astronomical like high amount of neurons that fire when you write stuff by hand versus it's like 14 neurons that fire when you type. And if you're using your thumbs, it's like two. So like just by writing stuff down, you will remember stuff. Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's in everywhere. It's there's power to it, especially even the freaking color of ink you use. Um, but regardless, dude. So it sounds like it's on one hand a lack of preparation is just knowing the questions and being ready, and on the other hand, state. If you're, like if you're coming up with a question after the call, that means you're just not in state.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
But I feel like I got robbed for my question. Because like I
Yeah.
asked
What was
Ben,
your
and
question, dude?
Marco jumped in, and I'm like, dude, like trying to hear for
Oh
Ben.
yeah, yeah.
that's on
Oh yeah.
me.
Tara's still
That's on.
here. Yeah.
But back to like the loan officer guy. The only other thing is like he's in Indonesia right now, and he's coming back to Columbus, but he so it's like 1 a.m. there for him, which is kind of why he probably wanted to sleep on it. But he was ready to go. Like he was excited to move forward.
Uh-huh.
What I've closed everyone in person, and it's a little bit easier because I can kind of like sit there, like here's the payment link, here's this. How do you do it online where you can kind of like stall them while you send the link, and then make them commit again to actually like pay through the link?
Uh, it's the exact same thing. You just say, cool. Like, what card do you want to put that on? Or like, here, I'll get you started. So like, what's your main email? Okay, cool. Would you like to pay that on Visa, Amex, MasterCard, or Discover? Visa. Okay, cool. I'll send you over the link right now. Once you process it, I'll send you over this. We can start right away. It's like assume it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I did. But I was like, okay, payment links at your email. I'm gonna write up the contract right now. And I'm like, fudge, dude, I don't even have the
No,
contract.
it's backwards.
No?
Also, like writing up contracts. Just you have like a DocuSign or not a DocuSign, but like the one Boris uses, e-agreements or
Yeah.
whatever, or e-signatures. Anyway,
Yeah.
like they pay first.
Okay. So I should have pressed him harder. Like, okay, once you pay, I'll send you the client agreement.
Yeah, writing up the contract sounds scary.
Yeah.
Um,
I said it like, oh, I have a client agreement, whatever, and then but then he's like, you know what, like let's just sleep on it, and then I'll make a decision like tomorrow. I should
yeah,
just be like, why not do it today? Or how do you counter that?
yeah. I mean, I guess it's contextual, but it's just easiest thing to do is just go back to. So, okay, sleeping on to decide, do you feel 100% that this strategy will work for you to grow your loan operator or whatever it's called business to where you want it to be? You do. Okay, why? Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, just to see if I can help, like what's coming up for you that makes you want to go and sleep on it. If you feel like it's going to work, is it the money? Is it something else? No, dude, I had the money. I always just sleep on things. Okay. I mean, if you know it's going to work, you feel strongly about that, you have the money, like, why wait? Why not just do it now? We can just get started by the time you wake up tomorrow, I'll have your scripts ready. Or like whatever, we'll have your shit started.
I should have pushed a little bit harder because I did a 1 through 10. Do you think it's gonna work for you? Whatever. And then he's like, yeah, for sure. I dropped price, and then he was ready to move forward, and then I like choked on the actual like, all right, send the money now. You have the payment link. So it's like I guess I just gotta keep pushing or like resell them.
But yeah, dude, like, no, I mean, like, number one is like once you kind of go out of the discovery, like up until the end of the discovery, you can unsell people, like what we were speaking about earlier. But after you've transitioned, you're like, okay, we're in alignment now, and it's like, now it's my job to get you across the line because I know we're all humans. Like people are gonna, it's most likely that resistance is going to come up, last minute doubts, hesitations, whatever. It's like, no, like, an example that I heard, it's like let's say that you had a kid and they had fucked up teeth. They're young and they're like, hey, so here's two options. Number one, you can grow up and have fucked up teeth and have people make fun of you, or you can get braces and you're going to get made fun of for the next 3 years. It's going to hurt going in, but ultimately your teeth will look normal and you'll be a lot happier in the long run. Which one do you want to do? I want to get braces. Okay, why? Okay, da da da. Okay, cool. And so I know when we go to the dentist, once they start putting in, if it starts hurting, they're going to start like squirming. And like it's your job not to be like, okay, don't put them on then. It's like, no, we're going to hold you down while they put them on. And like that's essentially what you're doing in objection handling. Like, no, dude, like we're doing this. Like
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I'll stick to that. I'll push him hard.
yeah, like they're right there. Kareem, what's up, man?
Okay, so quick question. This is for you, Ben, and Jacob. It's not directly related to sales, but I would love your idea of how to tackle a situation like this. I'm cooking with this strategy so far. The only thing, and this happens around 15 to 20% of the time with clients. Um, I'll have, so specifically with a window tinting guy and a daycare, right? We'd film their ad, we'd film the content, we run the ad. For example, for one of them, the daycare, it's running at $35 a day. It's been running for over a month and a half. They haven't turned off the ad. It's the like we're running it ever since. and it's not cracking. It's like barely getting in 2 or 3 followers. And in fact, the daycare down the block from them was already my client, and I packed out their entire daycare to from 0 to 100% capacity in 35 days. So the market's already there. The girl went from making 0 to 50K a month, in literally a month. So
Damn.
it's already proven. Yeah, it's already proven, right? Same thing for a few other contractors, but like for this guy, the window tinting, it's just not cracking. Now I know that the accountability part on our side comes from actually delivering the followers. After the followers are coming in, then it's obviously the accountability is on their side. But like we're technically held responsible for the followers coming in. So and this is something I implement with all of my clients is I'll always film 2 or 3 backup ads. So for example, for that daycare, we launched the second and third, and that didn't crack. I went back, scripted 4 other ads. I was like, don't worry, I'm with you. I'm happy this is happening because you get to learn the marketing like mechanics behind everything. It's a creative issue. So I went back and like she's fine. They like trust me and everything. And same thing with the window tinting guy. So I'm fine on that part. Like I have the client success part dialed in. But I went back in, recorded the ads, filmed them again, and we relaunched them. And they're still not. It's not cracking nearly as well as the other daycare. Like that flood of followers isn't coming in. They're still getting around 2 or 4. So my question
Is it the
is,
same
at what
messaging as the other babysitter?
same messaging, but a completely different angle. Like one is around the price, one is around the community, one is around like this is what we're trying. Because in the end of the day, it's like if it's not a targeting issue, and I like turned on Advantage Plus, okay, that's not a targeting issue. The other one is going to be an ad budget issue. I mean, they're spending the ads. I think it all comes down to the actual creative, right? And again, I'm happy to continue along the basis of listen, it's fine. We've already proven it for other people in your service area in the city. So as long as it takes to do the creative testing, I'm happy to go with you with it. I don't mind continuing that. I don't think it's the right way to scale. So I just figured to ask you guys, is there a better way to go around it? Like, am I missing something here? Or should I be like, hey, our done for you part of the contract is that's it. This is where I draw the line. I just don't feel the best. I feel like I have the best interest in for them. So as long as I'm able to crack the flood of followers coming
Yeah.
in, that accountability goes back
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them.
I can't remember who it was I was speaking to, but maybe Elijah. He was saying that he had like a garage door installation company and the follower strategy just didn't work for them. And he's like,
Hmm.
well, I guess, it's like how interesting can you make installing garage doors? So he did a lead format for those guys and then it crashed. So it might be worthwhile to try just a different format. I mean, they're going to have to call them, but unless
Mm.
Jacob has a different idea or thought. The other thing
Yeah.
is like, are they next to each other? It's like, is, that might be too
No,
close.
that was just the daycare. The daycare is like literally like it's like a couple blocks away, um, which is fine. Like I can still continue doing the creative testing and doing more angles. Um, So, and I even literally copied the same exact ad for one of the variations, and that didn't crack. Right now, the window tinting guy, there's no competitors around him. No one's launching like I've just seen a couple of shitty window tinting ads, but nothing like to our level. And his isn't cracking yet. So I'm down to try different things, and like I think all of it comes down to um, having the ability to actually be there for your client and letting them know that hey, we're with you until it works. I have that part dialed in. I just want to know from the operational side, maybe I'm missing something that you guys might flag. Jacob, you might have something like in terms of a different strategy. I don't know.
We have like two clients, like we have quite a bit of clients, and then two of them like just did that shit. It's the worst, and then it fucks up your day, and then you have to try to take sales calls with 100% conviction, and then but deep down you like no. Um, but what we've done is, well, obviously we shoot more ads. We try to like, usually like people follow because of value, right? So. You have to try to find a way to make it even like insane value for following. I don't know how to explain it more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then lead forms, they definitely do work. We definitely made it work for a window tinting company. So like I can send you the actual ad. It like absolutely destroyed like 3,700 likes. Um, and like several thousand followers. So I can send you that. But yeah, it might be the creative, and then like having them actually like shoot more creatives too, like just making them do it. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
like
yeah.
for it's hard for them to get the conviction if they haven't seen that. Like usually you can get conviction from people that like saw early wins and they just follow
Mm.
everything you say, but it's like harder from someone which like they've been trying to follow you and you're like we flopped on the last three ads. It's fucking hard, bro. I don't know. Like what you're dealing with is difficult. Like you're gonna have those clients. Boris, me and Boris talk about it too. It just kind of fucking sucks. You just got to keep doing it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but you just got to keep trying to do shit, dude. That's it.
But did you go back and film another ad for them, right?
I've gone back to there are clients that like well past like we're losing money on shooting ads for
Yeah,
we're losing money, but for the reputation and whole I mean like my play is like the LTV too. They're
exactly.
still sticking with us, like, and then eventually,
Mm-hmm.
like, they'll pay us later on. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you, especially with the proven offer, that's the thing. It's probably just the creative, like full
It's just a
transparency.
creative.
It's probably the creative because
Like
if the
that's the whole
offer,
thing. You mentioned, sorry to interrupt you, but you mentioned something very, very important is that it's like the offer, sorry, follow for value.
yeah,
Uh, so I think if you frame it that way, because there is no other, like I'm trying to understand, is there another variable that we're missing? Audience, something, or is it literally just going to be a creative issue? If it's a creative issue, I'm fine with that because I can script out a bunch of different creatives and go back and testing. But is there going to be a scenario where it's not a creative issue?
What this is just like a stupid idea, but like a lot of times when angles and ads stop working, like connecting them into news works, and then like leading it into your message. So like, what if it's a horrible idea, but like, what if someone like pretended to drop the baby in the in the thing? Is like, oh, like you don't want this to happen, or like if there was a news article of someone like doing that, it's like you know you got to be careful who you're allowing to babysit your kids. You know, other places they don't have this, but we do. That's why people here in the Calgary area like trust us to take care of their kids. Blah blah blah, or maybe a giveaway or something like that.
Mm-hmm,
Giveaway,
mm-hmm,
a, I don't know, 6 months of diapers or some shit. I don't know.
yeah, you
yeah.
probably get a lot of like if you target the right people for the
Mm-hmm.
giveaway, like and it's probably parents, like what do parents want, and give them that shit. You'll probably get like what is a lead? A lead is just someone you can contact, right? And if they're parents, then so
Something
you,
only
you
parents would want.
yeah, you probably can crack it
Okay.
like that, and it
Or
sucks that
a
it's not
free
like
month of daycare, dude.
I
You
would
want
for
that?
sure follow for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why not? Dude, that would crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd crush.
Yeah. Okay. Um, no, thanks guys. Jacob, if you don't mind dropping me that window tinting out, that would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Thank you, bro.
Marco, what's up, man?
I just want to ask Jacob, like, what do you do in those scenarios? So, like, you've shot three ads, it's still not working, and have you just like been like, as a client, and you just been like, all right, well, we tried and RIP or what?
No, we just keep trying. We just keep fucking trying. But mostly like I have a client success manager, so he has to keep trying. I have to make sales.
hmm hmm Okay, great, 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 great. So hiring out, just continuously hiring out to, I mean, in your case, right? You're compensating somebody else to continue to manage and try to make this happen for the client.
Yeah, client success.
Okay, great, great. Hey, man, good info to have, good info.
Does anyone have a question for me? You have any questions for Jacob here? Uh, Terrace, what's up, man?
So this is a
I mean,
question
I'll throw
for
up a question, unless somebody else already went before me.
I have a question for Jacob, but Jacob, if this is for Ben, go first.
All right,
Amelia, what you got, man?
all right.
Like, you
Actually,
guys can throw the Jacob call if you want to just talk to Jacob.
yeah. Hey, Jacob, I have a good announcement.
Booted, man. Get this fucker out of here.
Bruno. No, so I was on a call with a prospect yesterday, a closing call, and he's, 48, 46, 48, and he's going into his 50s, and that was like his biggest pain. I mean, I have my notes right here. That was like his biggest thing. And I
That he's
mean,
just getting older.
we discovered, huh?
His biggest pain is that he's just about to be 50.
Yeah, he was like, well,
What are you supposed to do
deeper,
about that?
more than that, more than that. But like the fact that he wants to be able to keep up. with his kids, the fact that he wants to, like, 2 years, he hasn't been to the gym consistently, and he's not like in a place where
Okay.
he's like, quote unquote, like, oh, and he said it multiple times on the call, like, oh, like, I know I'm not overweight, or I know I'm not X, Y, and Z. He's like, but I've been 155 for 2 years, and I just expect more of myself. So from my perspective,
What does that mean?
yeah, I don't know. That's that's what I was trying to figure out the whole call. Like, I think my
Wait,
biggest,
I would ask him. You know,
yeah,
sounds like you're just there's like a few layers deeper that you got to go just to
okay.
connect. How does expecting more of himself connect to his kids being 155 and also getting older? Like, where do those things connect? And then can we go deeper on that? What's like the real burning problem for this guy? Is it the fact that, you know, I don't know, like he's could be anything. Like, what, like the fact that you're just getting older is not exactly a pain point.
Yeah.
But if his dad, let's say his dad died at early ages in his 50s, and he's like, dude, you never know. Like, there's usually something like that. Um, I need to get duct tape, dude. I got one little brick thingy here that keeps falling off. Anyway, so what happened with him? What did I take it he didn't buy?
Yeah, I know. So at the end, well, he's like, I'll be out of town with business stuff over the next 2 weeks. We set up a follow-up date on June 8th. And I did try to, like, go from there. And I had said, okay, yeah, we'll schedule, like, what day, whatever. And I was like, real quick, I would just love to know, like, if you're here right now, right? And he already said no to a deposit. He already said no to paying ahead. And I'm like, you want to do this. This is going to get you the results that you want.
Uh,
You know what I mean? And so I was like, so, and like, you haven't been able to, you've been stuck for the last 2 years. So I said, like, why not commit now and have a later start date? You know what I mean? And he
Just
still,
add 2 weeks to your program. But it sounds like, I mean, did he have any like significant turning point where maybe something happened with his kid or something with his wife or who knows, like where he's like, dude, I have to change.
yeah, I mean, I was asking a lot of questions, and sometimes I do feel like I'm asking questions and I'm like, dude, I'm not getting anything. You know what I mean? And
That's
I,
a reason to unsell then. So you weren't here, but I'm like, listen, dude. So in general, like I'm not sure if you were here earlier where I talked about them being in your frame or out of it, but like one of them is a strong desire and commitment to change. And like this guy, like has he signed up for coaching programs in the past or fitness programs or gotten a personal trainer or anything? No.
never.
And like how long has he been, let's say, out of shape for? Did he say?
Well, he said he's been stuck for the last 2 years. Like, 2 years,
2 years.
he's not
Okay.
been able to build consistency. Yeah.
Got it. So basically it's like, okay, so what I'm hearing is, yeah, you're getting older, but I'm really not hearing anything significant as far as maybe something that changed recently, which means that now you have to step this up another level and actually really start taking action to get into the shape that you feel like you should be at and you need to be at. Um, and I'm not really hearing any other big reasons why anything would change. And for that reason, any one of our clients that would come into our program and become successful, they have a big reason that we're like, no, I need to change. I'm not willing to put this off. And that's why they put in the effort to achieve the transformation that they get. Right. And so, I mean, is there anything like that I'm missing or like maybe you haven't told me? Do you have anything that we just haven't spoke about? Maybe no. Okay, well, in that case, we just really wouldn't have alignment. It really just doesn't make sense for us to go any further in the conversation because, like, I only make offers to people that I feel 100% sure are going to get the results they're looking for in our program.
Mhm.
If that changes, feel free to reach back out. In which case, he has an opportunity to be like, oh, fuck, okay, well, this guy's just I'm like telling him I want to do this, but now he's pushing me away. Like, what the fuck? He'd be like, nah, well, actually, dude, like, I guess there is something, like my wife was blah blah blah, or like who knows?
Hmm.
Um, like you're not trying to. Part of it's getting deep enough where you have a real conversation about what is the actual burning problem with his health and fitness. How is it affecting him, the people around him? What's he not able to do because of it? How long has it been going on for? How's it impacting him? How's he feel about it? Why now does he want to change it? What has he tried? Why didn't that work? Why hasn't he tried anything? If it's such a big problem, why haven't you tried anything? Okay, right. And then um, going from there, it's just like, okay, well, you're either going to have a real conversation. He's going to give you a real turning point where it's like, dude, this thing happened and I have to change because of that. And you can tie him down and it's like, okay, cool. We can call back to that when he wants to put this off for another 2 weeks. It's like, well, dude, like, are you going to put off another 2 weeks of you feeling this way? Or like, you need something deeper to anchor back to when he wants to put this off for another 2 weeks. Cause how is that any different from what you've been doing for the past 2 years? That's not a
Hmm.
good strategy, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I probably need to have a little bit more courage to unsell when I need to. I did have,
Or the courage to go deeper in the conversation and find like a real personal problem. Like it's like it's still surface level if you're like pretty much anyone could tell me what he just told me. But if this person tells you something where you're like, damn, this guy probably has never told anybody that before, holy shit. Or you just know, like the with a burning problem, it's like if you have to ask, is this a burning problem? It's not a burning problem. There's probably something deeper. But we also know that because they booked on a call, they're like 95% of the time there is a burning problem. You just have to sometimes you just have to dig for it or connect the dots of like, okay, so you're getting older, you got a young kid, you're not as fit as you've been out of shape for 2 years. You feel like you should be up here, but you're down here. Like, where do these things all connect together? Like, what's going on now because of these things that means that you're on a call to get this handled? Well, oh, dude, well, it's this. Okay, tell me
Mhm.
more. Like, blah, blah, blah. How long have you been feeling that way? How's that affecting you? Like, you know, is that having any impact outside of in other parts of your life?
Mhm.
You know, probably
Mhm.
something to do with his kids or his wife, let's be honest,
Yeah, no,
or
that
his
makes
health.
sense.
So,
Okay, I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you.
for sure. Um, what's up, Armando? So, Terrace, I think your question's for Jacob. If Jacob's still here and you want to ask him, go
Well,
for it.
I mean, I was gonna ask you, Ben, but
Okay, what do you got?
essentially it's after the call, how much should we be following up with people, especially if they want to think about it or keep giving smoke screens? Because there's a lot of people that don't buy now, and then I don't have a good system to follow up with them, and then they're like, "Oh, you were too expensive" down the road when I did follow up again.
Yeah, like ideally, we're just getting to that on the call. Like, you did a good job when even if they don't buy, you're like, the reason they didn't buy is because of this. It's like not because they had to think about it. It's because they only had $500 cash on hand and no credit, and like or like the reason they didn't buy is because of whatever. Like this one, they're about to go on a month vacation for summer and they want to start when they get back. Okay, that's kind of valid. Like with the guy, I guess he jumped off of the Amelia guy. I was going to say the guy that wanted to start in 2 weeks. Um, I mean, dude, like, what's going to change in 2 weeks? You're just going to be 2 weeks older and like in worse shape. Like, why not just start now? Worse, like, anyway, he's not here, so no coaching for him. Um, but as far as following up with them, like, ideally on the call, you're getting the actual objection. All right. And if you can't handle it, then if it's logistical, like, here's the thing: if it's logistical, meaning there's a logical reason, well, then just follow up with them. Just, hey, like just check in with them. Send them case studies every now and then. Send them, hey, dude, I was just thinking about you. Da da da. hey, how's it going with this? Whatever you have to do. If they say they want to think about it, but it's like fear, like once they're off the call, they're gone forever. Like the chances of someone who's afraid coming back, like it's like one in a hundred, if that.
Fear of what?
Just fear. It's a logical fear. Fear
Just like
is like when there's
not committing?
you've gone through every single logical reason for them not to do it, and they still aren't taking action. It's fear.
Hmm.
Like, okay, cool. You believe 100% in the process. You have the money to do it, or you can come up with money. Yes. You don't have to ask anybody's permission to move forward on this. You feel like, um, like this is the best solution for you. Okay, so, uh, like I'm not really seeing any other reason for you to really pull the trigger here. We know the problem. We know the solution. There's nothing else to think about. Let's just do this. No, no, I gotta think. That's how I make decisions. Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like maybe it's just a bit of nerves. Have you ever made an investment like this? Or is that fair to say? Do you think it's just nerves? Kind of like minimize it. It's not fear. It's just nerves. Yeah, it's just nerves. It's like, okay, well, number one, that's normal. Like, have you ever made an investment like this in your business? No. Okay. Well, dude, like it's really normal. Like we're talking about doing an action that's outside of your comfort zone, right? And you know what they say, like all growth happens outside of your comfort zone, but you really have two options, dude. You can continue to think about it, which is what you've been doing for the past 6 months, which is why you're in this situation. That's not solving the problem. That's 100% an option you have available to you. The other option is you can actually take a leap of faith. Don't let the fear hold you back from doing the thing you need to do to grow your business. And we just solve the problem right here and right now. If you if you feel like you have like a higher self, like I believe we have a higher self. Do you ever do you think you have a version of yourself that's like the maybe in a parallel reality or whatever that's like you at your best? Yeah. Okay. Like, well, if that person was here right now, the version of you that was already making the money, doing the marketing, growing their business, like what do you think they would say to you right now? Ah, they'd probably tell me to do it. Why? Well, because da 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 da. Okay. Well, you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah,
uh,
that's a good point. At what point do you know like when to let them off the call? Because I think I need to get through a second wave of objections, but then I like let them slide after that.
let them off the call when they're like, fuck you, I'm getting off the call. If they're still on the call, it's kind of like if you're out trying to meet chicks and you're talking to her and she's like, oh, she's not really giving me any interest, but she doesn't walk away. So she's still here. So there's at some level, she's still interested in talking to you. Same as, I mean, dude, like that's, I mean, I've had 3 hour calls with people before. Like I know that you need to do this. You know it. We both know it's fear. Like, dude, we're gonna like. I also know if you leave the call, like you're gone forever. So like, dude, I want the best for you. You know, I know that it's human nature to be just scared. To go back to what Marco said, and like, dude, I'm gonna, you know, sometimes you just have to like drag people up the mountain.
Makes sense. Appreciate it.
Yeah, most of the time it's probably you know, like you said earlier, oh, you do a temp check, they say they're a 9 out of 10, but they still have to think about it. I mean, Jacob said it like, does that mean they're really at a 9 out of 10? Like, so you're telling me, you feel like 90% chance that this is going to 100% work to get you the results that you want to fix this problem, blah, blah, blah. So, like, you still want to think about it though. If you're actually 90%, like, you know, you can't be 100% on anything. Like 90%, 9 out of 10 is basically 10 out of 10. So, like, what's really going on? Is it the money? Is it something else? Yeah, it's actually a lot of money. Okay. Well, do you have the money or would you need to come up with that? Well, no, I have the money, but like I just, I always think before I spent this amount of money. Okay. When's the last time you were in a situation where you were making a big investment and you had to think about it? Okay. And what did you do to come to terms with that decision? How did that go? How long did you need to think? Okay, so you need this long. What made you finally pull the trigger? Well, I just went for it. Okay. So, like, what do we have to do to make you feel good about this? So, I mean, dude, we can just both move forward. Part of it, like, if you get stuck in objection handling, it's no different from a discovery. Like, I'm still staying curious, still trying to get to the what is the problem? Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can attack it from different angles and get the person to see, like, if they were, here's my thought, like, if they had the same beliefs as you, they would just buy. But because they don't, they're having objections and resistance. So I'm going to ask some questions about that to kind of figure out, like, okay, where is the missing link here? Like, what part of their beliefs is like out of alignment with them buying? And let's see if we can handle that, and then get them into alignment, and then see if they want to do it. And it might be a few things, or it might just be one. But the other reason why you want to go deeper in the discovery is, like, if someone's afraid, the easiest way to get them over their fear is just reminding them of what they said earlier, and like why they need to do it, and why, like, what it's costing them. You don't have to have a specific objection handler. You just remind them of what they said. But I know, like, a lot of people in sales, like probably half of you guys, if not all of you guys, even myself included, like, you're sometimes you can be too soft on people, like not assertive enough, not challenging enough, not pushing enough, right? There's definitely a yin and yang in sales. Like, the yin is connecting with people, being empathetic, understanding their problem, asking good questions, and the yang is like the leadership, which is like, no, dude, like, you're fucked. This is broken. This isn't working. You're struggling here. You don't know how to do this. You're fucked. Like, you have, it's also your fault because you haven't taken any action on this. Like, are you going to do, are you going to keep doing what you've been doing? Are you going to do something different? No, I'm not. Okay. Why not? Why now are you suddenly going to take a new action? Well, because blah, blah, blah. And then just, being able to, not be too one dimensional or one sided, because you need both. Like, the way I think about it, it's like different tools for different jobs, right? You kind of, you know, have to know when to push people and when to, sometimes you have to push the sale and close them. Sometimes it makes more sense to delay the sale. If they're super scared, generally you have to push them. If it's logistical, then, or something else, and it might make more sense to delay it. Yeah, dude. Yang is, well, then, exactly. So, like, the yang is the one um that's like challenging people, being assertive, having strong boundaries and frame, and like holding people accountable, holding up the mirror for them, showing how they're fucking up, but it's also their fault. It's like, it's like, there's a very specific vibe when you're talking to somebody who's really good at both. You're like, holy shit, like, this is crazy. Like, I'm fucked. Like, I have to do this. I have no other choice unless they just want to leave the call. But it's also not being an asshole to people. Um, Armando, do you have any questions or anything? Or so, like, we still got to look at Jacob's pitch deck. Don't think we forgot about you, Jacob, or Jacob Herbs. Do you have anything you want to jam on?
Um, I don't think so. I feel like I've been locking in with most of the sales stuff recently. Mostly just trying to hear little nuggets from like everybody else today. But wow, that little block in your corner is really just not doing it for
It's
you.
very troublesome, dude. I need
Yeah,
to
you
get.
gotta get some sticky putty or just like slam that thing on the wall. Like even hot glue it at a certain point.
I do. There's like three or four of them that'll just randomly fall off.
Yeah,
And
imagine you're on a sales call trying to close something
it's happened.
for like
Like,
12K and you
oh,
hear ding 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 like
like,
the
oh, one
watch.
second. Yep. Anyway,
That's
yeah.
so I mean, is it really that annoying when you're on a call that you just jump off? Like my bad.
But dude, like my OCD starts going up like crazy. I
That's fine.
anyway, it's neither here nor there. Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I guess I think I'm pretty good with most of the stuff in the pitch right now. I can't really think of anything because I feel like I am pretty good at locking in like the objections and knowing kind of what those are as I get into the close. We talked the other day about like tie downs a little bit more and seeing how we can get that going with like the temp check. Like I'm not really doing the temp check unless I feel like it's absolutely necessary. I'm just kind of asking, hey, honest, like do you realistically think with 100% certainty like this can take you from where you're at now to where you want to be? And it's like yes or like maybe. And it's like
That is a temp check.
okay, cool.
Same thing as a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, yeah. I guess not on a scale of 1 to 10. Like I just don't do the 1 to 10 because
Yeah, I don't do that either, but I mean,
yeah.
you can't.
And then it kind of goes like, maybe. And then I go, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Is it like a value thing or is it like the
Well,
money? Like what is it?
what part of it makes you say it's a maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think I say something closer to that. But yeah, like what about it? And they're like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm like, oh, do you think it would work for your business? Like, yes or no? I'm like, oh, I mean, like, yeah. Oh, what do you like about it?
Okay. Yeah,
This
exactly. Well, why? Okay.
Yeah, this particular thing. Okay, cool. So, is there any reason that you think it wouldn't work for you in your business?
Yeah.
Actually, no. I think it would work for
Okay.
me. Okay, cool.
Okay. So would you say that you're not at a maybe anymore, but you're at like a, how do you feel now, I guess? No, I feel pretty good
Okay.
now. Okay.
Yeah,
So what
getting like
changed?
extra tie down on like the uncertainty a little bit more before moving on.
Definitely. So their
Okay.
story changes and then you go through it, you definitely you go back and tie them down again. Okay. So how do you feel about it now?
Okay.
Well, now I feel a lot better. Okay. You have any other questions before we roll into the next steps?
Yeah, because usually it like before when I'm starting to do like my summary and my wrap up and being like, oh yeah, like you want to go from here to here and like I think this would honestly be a good fit for you. Like, do you have any questions before we talk about the investment? They're usually like, not really. Like, how much does it cost? And some people
Yeah.
like at the summary or before I even ask, like before we talk about the investment, they're like, so how much does it cost?
It's
And
like, yeah, we're gonna get there.
yeah, yeah, I kind of try to minimize like the pace of getting there and just be like, yeah, for sure. Like we'll talk about the investment. Like I'm not scared to tell you about it. Just wondering, like money aside, do you realistically think this could help you get from like like zero leads per month to like 10K a month
Yeah.
or something, whatever their goals are.
Don't
And
say
then
could, say can.
okay, can. Yeah, like present
Hey, it
tense
could.
or
Yeah.
will. Is
It
it
will or it can. Like, do you feel like
okay?
this process will get you to 10K per month? That's very definitive versus like, do you feel like it could? Like, yeah, anything could.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Like, do you feel like this process, based on the strategy I just walked you through, do you feel like this can get you from 10K a month to 20? Okay, why do you say that? Okay, just curious. Why do you think it can? Okay, got it. Well, where do you want to go from here?
Yeah,
Well,
I
what are the next
guess.
steps?
Yeah, I guess I just don't really have like the definitive language like locked in as much. I guess I just
It's
don't use it.
another part of the yang. It's like
Okay.
using definitive language. You are like this is broken. You are not doing this right. You don't know how to do this. Like this is like uh I'll try to dude. Let me try to find a call that I did for Boris like a few months ago
Yeah.
because this girl she came on the call and she was very much like all over the place and um it took me a while to just understand the situation. She didn't close, but uh, like you can see a vibe shift in her because like towards the end of the discovery, I hit her with the summary. So, okay, so you can't do this. This is broken. You don't know how to do this. You're making no money here. Blah 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 blah. And she's like, oh fuck, like I didn't realize this was that bad.
Yeah.
uh, I gotta see if I can get into Fathom here real quick. Also, don't remember what her name was. I had to look that up. One moment. talk amongst yourselves if you want to. Give me 2 seconds. Uh, dude, I've got too many tabs open. My computer's too slow.
I
Oh my God.
literally feel the same way. I think I have like 100 something tabs up. Like some of them are for like my pitch, some of them are for like objections, some of them are like for random other shit that just like pops up.
Yo, while Ben's pulling that up, Jacob, congrats on all the closings recently.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of at a point where I have no idea what to fucking do because there's so many people. And because of that, I've been just like on meetings trying to get them onboarded. And no joke, my VA just hit me up and was like, "Hey, by the way, where the hell is all of our content? Because nobody is responding in the DMs. Like you have just not been on top of your DMs." And I'm like, "Thank you for calling me out on that. I appreciate that." And you're right. And like I need more content because there's definitely like a shift when you're posting like once or twice a week at the very minimum and then having like stories go up and stuff like that because like people will just not respond to like a blank canvas, especially if the ads are coming in.
Yeah, so you're fulfilling now and you're not posting as much and you're seeing a lack of response in your
Huge
DMs.
lack of response. Yeah, like my VA, like typically we're able to get like 2 to 3 closing call or 2 to 3 intro calls a day at the very least. And I put out like $30 to $35 an ad per day. Or not per, yeah, $30 to $35 is my like daily budget right now. We're usually able to get like 2 to 3 intro calls a day, and it's gone down to like 0 to 1 in the past week just because I haven't been posting. So there's definitely a good correlation between people actually responding and like, you know, keeping momentum there versus not doing that at all. So
Yeah,
I think pretty big. And so I've been having these closings, which is great, but like literally the last week and a half because I've been closing has been super, super dry in terms of like new leads actually coming in. So I'm definitely hitting a point where I need to hire like a client success manager because now I'm at like 10, 11 clients or something like total since beginning the program. But like now I have like 8 active ones because I've onboarded like 5 within the past month. So it's like, oh shit, like, yeah, I really can't keep up right now. Which is a good problem to have. Good problem to have. Like I'm very blessed, very fortunate to work hard enough to be in this position. But yeah, in one of my clients, like I think something Boris said earlier today kind of resonated with me because it's like one of my clients isn't doing well. Um, ready to look at the picture, man. Yeah, one of my clients hasn't been doing well, but they're like the only client that hasn't been doing well. Everybody else has been like absolutely crushing it. So,
Dude, my computer is like lagging up.
oh, we doing an intro call for Jacob?
No.
Yeah.
Uh, I was trying to pull up the call just so I could show you guys um like an example of what it sounds like. I got too many fucking tabs and windows open. It's like my shit's frozen.
It's all good.
Um, okay.
How long do your
Got
guys' pitches usually go? Like Ben, like how long do you think is a good like window for being able to pitch somebody? Because I think I feel like I ramble a little bit.
7 minutes.
Five,
You,
what do you say? 5, 10 minutes?
5 to 7.
Okay.
Like it should be, pretty succinct, but without like. So one thing I want to get into with Jacobs is like you basically have to like do a few things at once. It has to be very simple to understand, but not too simple. Like you probably want to have like your own like unique. You want to like thingify some of your stuff where it's like it's your process that you've made up, but you want to take them on a clear journey of how you get them the result, which through doing that, it should make the value. It should make it seem like the value is way higher than the price, and then there it should be like have the within it, like basically the kind of like the next steps, but also like the capacity for quick wins. The other level is like answering a lot of the common objections or questions that you would typically get. If you can weave those in there as well, that makes a really good pitch.
Okay.
And then also the last piece would be personalizing it to their specific problems. So it's like, so you know how you told me you have this problem. The way that we solve that is through this. Here's how it works. Here's why we do it this way. Da da da. First we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. So something like that. All right, my computer is starting to like chill out now. See if it. Let's see if this works. Share sound. Accidentally recorded a call review for Jacob and didn't share the fucking sound. And it also cut off 40 minutes early, which is a great problem. All right, let me see. All right.
This is the no close that we were talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh, this was like a longer call. I forgot. Yeah, she was just yapping. Um,
Yeah, how long are should our closing calls typically be? Like usually mine, if I don't close, are around an hour, but usually the ones that do close are like 80 something minutes.
yeah. Is this it? For some reason it's not loading, but let me see if this is it. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I think I'm hearing, and you can feel free to disagree, is that it's like the skills to kind of stay competitive with AI and other people, and whether it's getting the jobs or getting the clients, you don't have those skills. Like whatever you've been doing has not been allowing you to stay competitive, which is why you're in the situation you're in. You're seeing other people that uh, they're getting the results out there, and you're like, oh, that's what I need. But it sounds like the biggest thing, which has prevented you from doing that, is this like a guardedness or skepticism of other people. Like, can you trust them? And number two is like, are you going to learn that yourself, or are you going to trust somebody to get out? Oh yeah, this girl had weird trust issues. She thought we were like everyone's a scammer, and she kept talking about all these scams and stuff. Um, I think I don't even know if that was okay. I guess that was it. It wasn't like that impressive, but it's like okay, so this is going on. You're not able to do this. You don't have this skill, which is keeping you in this situation, and this is preventing you from doing that. And then you have this, and then this, and this.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just kind of like laying out like okay, like here's why you're in the situation you're in, and here's why it's also your fault. Um, so yeah, Jacob, if you want to, bro, it's making 800 a month. Sheesh. So are you willing to put
Mobile
that
detail.
800 into ad spend?
Mobile detailer. I've found that most of them make like nothing. He's like he said it's going well. Okay, okay, cool. Like
800? That's like two details, dude.
Compared to what?
I don't know what he did 800, but he's doing 2 to 3 cars a week.
What is he charging, bro?
I don't know, but I do
You-
need to get my
Are you
car
doing them for
washed.
free?
So
That's
This
crazy.
is
All right, let's pull up this old pitch here.
okay, cool.
Uh, I'll-
I hardly ever read
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Okay, go to the next slide. Yeah, so I didn't really love this part. Just kind of like listing out their problems. Like a lot of people do this with their pitch where they're like, oh, do you have this problem or this problem or this it's like it's kind of like generic. For me, like I always start with an overview of like trying to remember exactly the way I phrased it in the last call, which got deleted. But essentially, okay, so first things first, um, this isn't like a cookie cutter marketing process. Everything we do is custom, but um, the strategy, which I call the scroll to sale method, is this is the exact same strategy that um, got us on this call, and this is the exact same strategy that's helped all my clients, you know, grow their brands, become visible, make sales every single day from Instagram. And I might have like maybe a few case studies right there, or maybe something to kind of elevate your authority. Like I've been doing this for this long, or did this for this many clients, or I've gotten some of my clients have gone from X to like big number in this amount of time. Something in the overview where it's like it's adding some proof, and then essentially this is what's taking the clients that come to me from having no idea where their next client's coming from or no control over their lead flow or whatever their thing is to having a steady stream of people that know about you, that want to work with you, that they see you as the local authority. That's what this is all about. Do you have any questions on that brief overview? And then maybe something in there too if you have any objections. Like on Boris's thing, I would say, oh, and by the way, this strategy works regardless of whether you're in a big city or a small town. Because some people are like I'm in my town's too small. But that was my like overview. So this has like a lot of words. They're gonna like be like reading all this stuff. I did notice when you presented this, like with the call that I reviewed for you, like this guy was like nodding his head to a lot of this stuff, which tells me like because you didn't really ask about it that much in the discovery, like it sounded like he was, stuck in the fulfillment trap, for example, or too busy doing the work to grow the business and maybe missing out on family time. We didn't really even get into that in the discovery, but I guess that's kind of good because like if you miss it, it can kind of remind them of that if that's them. But at the same time, if they don't really, what if their problem's not even on here? And they're like, is that even
Yeah,
me?
so I've had two where everything like they're like, oh, all of these are me, and then I had several where they're like, well, none of those really like are me. So then they're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this? So it's
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like if you get somebody who's a really big company, they might not be any of these.
yeah.
Or they're brand new and they just it's just not them. So like I would veer on the side of just keeping high level. And then so go to the next slide. Yeah. So like all of these things, so like this, like I know you have phases after this, but like I feel like each one of these three things should like deserves a better explanation because it kind of makes it sound lower value than it actually is. It's like, oh, the ad's going to stop the scroll and get in front of the right audiences, creates attention. The profile acts as your landing page, builds trust, converts viewers into followers and DMs, conversion mechanism, warm leads coming to you so I can close the deal. Like, does that sound like it's worth 10K? I mean, maybe, but like, what if we were like, okay, so really there's a three-phase process that the system's built on, right? Or there's a very simple system that the strategy that this system's built on, which got us on this call. So number one, you know, the very first thing is um, authority building content, right? Or trust building content, right? Like think of how much content of mine did you watch before we spoke? How long did you follow me before we got on this call? Okay, this long. Did you watch a lot of my client or of my content or just a bit? A lot. Okay. And what was the feeling that you got from that content? Yeah, I felt like you're an expert. I feel like you really know what you're doing. Okay. In other words, you had trust. Yeah. And like, would you say that trust made you more likely to reach out to me? Yes. Okay. Gotcha. And like right now with your leads, like how much do they trust you coming from Google ads or whatever? Yeah. I mean, not very much. Okay. And so just if we were able to get them to trust you more and become more warm to you, how do you think that would affect, you know, your business? Oh man, I probably close a lot more deals. Yeah. So I agree. So the first thing we're going to do is optimize your profile so that when people land on your page, first thing they think is like, oh wow, these guys look professional, they look legit, they look trustworthy. They're seeing case studies, testimonials, they're seeing value, right? They see you as the local authority, right? So that's why the first thing is like creating your local authority profile. Make sense so far? Yes. Second thing is the ad, right? So unlike Google ads, the reason why Instagram works so well is because rather than going after only the people that have intent, which is this very small percentage of the people that could buy from you, we're going to go after every single person and create the intent before. Oops, stop zooming on me, bro. Um, like we're going to get them before they have intent. In other words, we're going to go after like we're going to be able to capture a way bigger pool of leads for a lot less because the higher the intent they have, the less of them, and therefore the more expensive they are, and the more competitive it is to get them. Whereas interruption-based marketing, that is a lot cheaper. You can get way more leads, way more people know about you. And then before they go to search, they'll just think of you because you also have a brand from the local authority profile. So that's how these two things connect together. I'm going to script out your ads. We're going to film them. We're going to get them edited, recorded professionally, and we're going to make sure that we're targeting your exact ideal clients, right? And um, I'm trying to think. Like this is the exact same you know like I maybe add like an example like my client John, we filmed his ad in the next 30 days from running it, spend $1,000 a month on that ad. I generally tell my clients to spend $35 to $50 a day on ads, so let's say 1,000 to 1,500 a month. From that $1,500 ad spend, like my client John from this ad was able to generate $50,000 or whatever, right? So it's very important that we do the ad correctly, right? It has to be video, it has to be engaging, entertaining, and also create value for them to follow you. And then once we have people seeing your brand, the right people seeing your brand every single time they open up Instagram, creating intent and trust through creating trust through your profile. The next thing is to convert that trust into intent, and the way that we do that is through our conversion strategy, which is primarily we're going to be messaging them, building a relationship with these people over the DMs, and then they're going to DM you their phone number, right? You're gonna have people reaching out to you who are interested now, but also who will be interested in the future. But essentially, what we're doing is having a simple conversation with them. I'm going to give you the frameworks for that, so you don't have to think about it. Instead of somebody who accidentally clicks on like a lead form ad from Facebook where it auto populates their contact info, they're going to be giving you their number. So they're going to be way higher intent. They're like, dude, I want to work with you. Like that's the easiest leads to close outside of maybe referrals. And that's essentially the strategy. Do you have any questions about how that works? God damn it. You didn't say anything. I need some duct tape. You see how that's different though? Like it's like, okay, like that's a clear process. The strategy makes sense. Cool. And then you can show them some of the case studies, which I know you have on your next pages. Right. And so really, I would go through, like, go to the next one. I know, like, some of these ones have numbers, but some of them didn't. Like, okay, so like
This
scale,
one.
like this one doesn't have numbers. Like, I would want numbers there. Like, all these ideally have like,
I don't have any of her. I don't have her like hard numbers. I just know that like she's grown enough to where she doesn't even have to do the work anymore.
well, yeah, well, perfect. I'd probably say something like that. I guess maybe you do.
It
And then,
depends on who I'm talking to, but like I'll usually like like to use that one
yeah,
because a lot of the people I talk to that they mostly want to like not be doing the work and make you money from home.
right. Armando, do you have a question about the pitch or is it unrelated?
Uh, what's something that you mentioned in the pitch, and it's a little unrelated, but it's something you mentioned.
What is it?
So you said that the way you frame like the DMing and stuff is that you tell them that the usual lead forms ads they will usually auto populate, and then they're not even qualified leads really.
Yeah, they might not even know they clicked your ad. They might have just did it by accident. They're not actually interested.
Yeah, because right now I have this new guy coming in, but he keeps talking about like the leads, and he's like, can't wait to get phone calls and all that. And I tell him, there's going to be a little bit more work than what you're expecting. I want you to be fully aware of that. But during our onboarding call, which was supposed to be today, he had another job that came in, so we rescheduled it. But I'm afraid to like tell him like, hey, you're going to be DMing people, you're going to be reaching out to people. I'm just not sure if he's going to tell me like, you know what, I want my money back. I want qualified leads. Like that's kind of like where I'm thinking of like, let's just wait to film the ad, and then once you film the ad, we're going to say, hey, this is how we're going to
Messaging
do it.
like the messaging is what attracts qualified leads, putting the right message in front of the right people. And then what he really probably means is like people that have money, which again comes from messaging. And then whether or not they're ready to buy right now is going to come from having a conversation with them. And the way I explain it is like, okay, well, yeah, I get that you might not want to DM people, but if you knew that every single person that was following you and messaging you was a potential sale for whatever, insert your price here, would you ignore them or would you be like happy to message them? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would definitely be happy to message them. Cool. And I'm not saying you have to do it forever. After 3 months, once you learn the system, then I can help you get like a VA to do it for you. So you don't even have to touch Instagram. So anyway, this other one here, Golden Ray Solar, another one that doesn't have numbers. Mommy's helper, fully booked. New problem, too many too many clients. That's a good problem to have. Like my clients, the biggest problem they have after working with me is a fulfillment problem. They have too many leads, too many sales. Like, do you feel like you have the capacity to bring on a flood of new interest and new deals and new sales? Are you ready for that? Okay, so next. Cool. So like if I explained the first like the strategy the way I did, like I would go through this pretty quickly. Cool. So in the first 7 days, we're going to get your ad filmed. We're going to get everything for your profile filmed. This is going to be 5 days strategic videos, which I'm going to script. You know, we're going to get all that. This would be like my deliverables. So like first 7 days, we're getting this done, this done, this done. Right. So boom, I would breeze through this quickly. And then phase two, um, conversion. Okay, cool. So within set on day 7 or by day 10, we launch. Next is like once you have leads coming in, I'm going to give you everything to track the conversions. So on one hand, what to say to them exactly, so you don't have to think about it, and also how to keep keep them organized so people aren't falling through the cracks, and then a software that I'm going to give you so that we can just know exactly how much you're spending to acquire a client, and that way we can use those numbers to start scaling this up. Right? So that happens in phase 2. That's going to be week, let's say 2 to 4 is getting all that dialed in. So the first month is really you generating leads or getting this launched. So like week 1 is launch. Week 2 to 3 is like stabilization or whatever, and then month 2 and 3 are like scale. That's maybe how I would do it. Anyway, you can go to the next one. Yeah, it is scale. Perfect. Yeah, like scale and support or something like that. Like, um, I also noticed that you don't have the VA for both of them, so I'm not sure if I would have this in here unless you were just going to pitch the 12K.
Got it. Yeah,
So
I
like,
gotta figure out how to not.
like I would probably just pitch 12K, and if they're like I don't have 12K, I'm just like, well, we could do it for 7,500 for 3 months. However, there's not going to be a VA in it, and it's also just one ad instead of two or whatever.
Just pitch 12 every time, huh?
Yeah, if they're qualified. But if they're not, you could always downsell them maybe like 4 or 5K for one ad and 30 days of coaching and
And make all your other organics by yourself.
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, if you want, I don't know.
I feel like this is like,
Kind of redundant. Yeah.
yeah, I'm probably gonna, like, I never really talk about like it's
Like I would probably maybe change this so it's like milestones, day 7 to day 0 to 7, and then day 7 to 30, and then day 30 to 90.
that would handle a lot of questions because a lot of times they're like, okay, what does it look like when we start?
Yeah. It should be
And
very
so
clear,
this
their
is
expectations, a
this is
quick win.
the first they really just care about like the first like week and month.
Yeah, yeah. Like you should be getting your first leads by day, you know,
12,
12.
10,
By,
12,
by day 10, you should have your everything going with leads coming in, your first sale with
14
the first
days.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
By day 14, you close your first deal. We're starting to get KPIs. We know your numbers. The whole goal is to turn this into a vending machine where you can go to Instagram and say, okay, if I want a client for $5,000 or whatever your price is, how much do I have to put in to get that client? Okay, it's $500 to get a 5K client. Cool. How many times would you put that $500 into the vending machine that month? I mean, how much do you want to make? You want to make 50K? You just put it in 10 times. Is that what you want? Yeah. And then, yeah, I would just, I mean, you could try the option close. I don't
They're
love
mostly
having price on the same thing. I would say, okay, we also the first one doesn't have phase three, which is interesting.
no VA.
Yeah, since your pitch had the VA, like, um,
It's like bait and switch.
a little, yeah, like kinda. So I'd either consider you only pitch the 12K and downsell them and tell them that they don't get the VA with that, and it's less ads and videos. Um, Also 100% don't tell them it's 12K for the fucking year if it's only 7,500 for 3 months or 4 months or whatever, because that makes no sense mathematically. Um, um, yeah, so I would consider just like still you can still do like the first class or like the economy. For this is the difference. Like this one is you getting the leads. This one's you getting the leads and buying back your time from managing it. Like I'll teach you how to do it in the first one, and I'll teach you how to do it and manage it for you. So it's more hands off in the second one. Which one, you know, you want to fly first class or economy? Same flight, same duration, different price. Which one do you feel like you want to go for? First class. Okay, cool. Well, that one's 12K.
Mm,
Jacob, what have you
understood.
been getting? When you get to this part, with the 7,500 and 12,000, what do people normally say? And has anyone booked the 12K package?
I've only pitched with oh, no, no one's gotten 12. The the
Another
two
thing
people that
too,
closed.
like just as a thought, like I don't know how you could do this, but I'm trying to think. Like if you had some type of calculator before you did the price drop, which made the price look really small, um, that would be interesting. Like if you could just like punch in their price, average amount of followers and leads somebody gets from, let's say, $50 a month ad spend, and then what the expected conversions could be, and then it just punched out a big number that they could be making per month. Like, well, this is like based on the averages of my clients from different niches. If you had something like that, I think that would be very interesting because then they would have something to compare to compare the price to.
I have something. If you want, I can share the prompt with you. You can just use it in Lovable. It puts
Yeah,
in
I'll
every
probably
single
do that.
problem they have, and then from there, once it what it looks like with your system, and it just gives them a big number. Like, hey, if you actually do this, this is how much you're making. But also shows them how much they're losing if they don't do it. I'll send it over.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually have that in my pitch, but it's in the beginning just to force myself um, to say like, okay, this is essentially it's the opportunity cost part. Once we like before I actually pitch it, like, okay, what is your actual price per
Yeah.
your service, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. So
how much you do now, and then. But should I
yeah,
do that right before I
I
do
would
the
do it
price?
after. I would do it after you kind of lay out the plan and the roadmap.
Mm.
And then here's what we're looking at numbers wise. Makes sense. Based on that strategy, you know, first of all, how do you feel? What questions do you have for me? Great. Do you feel like that plan can get you to XYZ goal? Do you feel like those numbers are realistic for you? Do you feel like you can accomplish that, or at least grow, make more money than you're making now, or whatever you say? Yes, I do. Okay, what can I ask? Why do you feel like it can't? Okay, got it. Where do you want to go from here? How much is it? Cool. So the investment for us to help you do X, Y, and Z over the next 3 months is 12K. And also having something in here, Jacob, where you're teaching them. It's like, hey, I'm also going to teach you this whole system. Like that should probably be on here somewhere because that's
Yeah, I don't think I talk
a
about it
big
at
value.
all.
Yeah, you don't. Some of these things are kind of repetitive. So like,
Yeah, it's gotta go. Um, I feel like this should have been like this is after I talk about this, but that probably should have went before. But
yeah,
that's
that should
probably
be
better with
after
the
your check.
timeline.
That should be after your temp check
Yeah.
before your price drop.
And then I don't really I only show this if like based off who I'm talking to. They sound like they need
Um,
financing.
yeah.
There's a lot of words on there too.
Yeah, I mean the big idea with the firm and Klarna for these guys is like rather than you paying me 12K out of pocket or like throwing on a Visa, like you can keep all that money, put it towards ads, make enough money to pay off the system, and then you can just pay off the Affirm and Klarna, which is a 2 year basically a loan. You can pay that off right away with no early payoff penalties, right? And the payments are as low as anywhere from let's say 350 to 600 a month, and they come out 30 days after you start. Does that make sense? You want to see if you apply for if you are approved for that? It takes a few minutes.
Yeah, my pitch is very similar to Jacob's, but it's only 12 slides. Do you want to compare the two and see like w if you can shave some stuff off, or maybe if I can add something?
All right, Jacob. Um, yep. Yeah, pull it up.
Okay. Do you want me to share my screen or send you the link?
Share it.
Okay.
Oh, Jacob. Does 3 p.m. work for you tomorrow? Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, you guys got private sales sessions?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Um, I gotta send this guy an invite. All right. The local harvest method. How local service businesses get a flood of inbound leads on Instagram without chasing anyone.
So what I
Okay.
say is like, okay, with this local harvest method, because when you harvest them, you plant the seeds, you water the crops, and you reap the harvest. Does that
Yep.
make sense? Yeah, same thing with our program. It's very similar to Jacob's referral trap. I know you said you didn't like that. And then if they don't resonate with, because I take their pain, what they have, and I apply. Okay, this is where you're at. And then if they don't have anything here, I say, well, this is what most people have. In your case, you're already doing well, but you need another avenue. So, and then I talk about pain on that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mm, I don't love it. Like it's you could ask, okay, so these are the typical situations that which my clients are in. Which one would you say that you're in?
Mhm.
Oh, the intent-based trap. Okay, cool. Well, here's how we solve it. Like in the pitch, you're generally like not. If anything, you could be like, well, you know how you told me that you're struggling with X and Y and Z. Well, here's how we solve that. Like when you're explaining the strategy or in the phases, like you can have it in there. Like I feel like this is a waste of like this is kind of like a waste
Yeah.
of they already
I
know.
mean, there was one person that was like, yeah, that's all me right now. And then the last call was like, I was like, oh, I didn't know what to say because they didn't really apply to them. So I was like, okay, this is what most people do. Then boom, I just kind of skipped it. So it felt awkward.
Yeah, kind of a waste of time. And yeah, I can see it being awkward. Um,
So I'll probably remove it and add something else. And this is when I have the what it costs you. Probably too early, right?
well, yeah, because it's generic. It's also, yeah, I think it is too early. Like this for me would come before the temp check after I walk them through the pitch. So I would
Okay.
probably, you know,
I think so too, based off of what you were going through with Jacobs. I was like, I like that right before, just so they see that it's a
Yeah.
crazy amount of money that they're not making. And do you think it's fine if I do it average $500 and I'll say, okay, this is on average, but in your case, you're making 1,000. Here's what that actually looks like for you.
Um, I might have them do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just based on my experience, my average client starts closing at least five extra sales a month or whatever, or might be different depending on the type of client. But like for you right now, how much extra revenue would that be at your price? You want to do the math? Pull out your calculator. Oh yeah, if I got five extra sales, that would be an extra 25K. Okay, cool. So essentially that means every month that you're not doing this, you're essentially leaving $25,000 on the table, which is $300,000 a year. Anyway, like, do you feel like this strategy would help you capture some of, if not all of that income, maybe even more? Yes, I do.
Mm.
Okay, why do you say that? Why do you feel like it would?
Okay, I
But
actually like that a
here's another
lot.
thing yeah, another thing I used to do for like when I was sold a dating offer, which is interesting. Like I would go through the whole pitch like normal, but I kind of just created this one day. Like right before the temp check, I would ask them, I call like a commitment loop. So I was like, okay, cool. So that's now that you know what we do and how it works, I'm like, now I have some questions for you. Number one, if we were to work with you, would you show up committed and coachable and do everything that your coach tells you to do? Yes or no? Yes, definitely. Okay, great. And do you have at least 5 hours a week to put into this to get the best results? Oh, yeah, I definitely do. Okay, cool. Because dating is a non ROI offer and we were selling it for 12K. So obviously everyone's different, but for you, if you were to invest not just the money, but time and energy into fixing this area of your life, dating, why would you do it? What would make it a no-brainer? What like basically what would make it a no-brainer decision? What result would you like to get out of your dating life? Oh, dude, if I could meet the girl of my dreams, that would be amazing. Gotcha. And based off the process that I just walked you through, do you feel like we can help you do that? 100%. Yeah, totally. Okay. What makes you say that? Well, dude, I really love that you do this and this and this and this. Okay, cool. Where do you want to go from here? Well, I mean, what's next? And then I had the incentive-based close for them, which is like, yeah, so basically the way it works, so like Elsa, the girl that was a female dating coach, she's like, she charges up to 100K for VIP clients one-on-one, anywhere from 50 to 100K, which is real. And then she has our mastermind, the regular price is 25K. However, yeah, guys definitely do, Armando. However, we found that that was excluding a lot of guys that really needed this. And so for that reason, we have like we call it, her program was called Chasers to Choosers. So we have what we call a choosers scholarship, right? So Elsa's basically giving me permission if I feel like a person's a good fit to offer you this scholarship where we're knocking off a significant savings off of the 25K. So if you make a decision here on the call, rather than paying 12K or sorry, 25K, the investment is 12K split up over 3 months. Or if you prepay in advance, it's just 10. So you save 2 grand. Any questions on how that works? Okay, cool. What card do you want to put that on? Well, the only objection I ever got was like, oh, well, can I do it in like 30 days? I'm like, what's going to change in 30 days? Nothing. All right, let's do it. But,
How would that apply to our offer
like
though? Like,
with this, um, like I might have this like again, like right before the temp check. Well, dude, um, you want to do some math to see like what this could potentially generate for you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's punch in some numbers. You have a calculator handy? Yeah. All right. So let's say that you spend $1,500 a month on ads. That let's say we get you in front of 75,000 people or 100,000 people or whatever the numbers are, 50,000 people. and then an average of 3% of them end up, or whatever the numbers are. Like we get this many followers, this many leads, this many book calls, this many sales. These are pretty standard KPIs, which we're going for. How many sales would that be for you? Or like at your price point, that would be what does that add up to? Seven times, you said you charge what, 3,500 on average? Okay, cool. So what number is that? Seven times 3,500. Oops. Oh yeah, so that's 24,500. Okay, cool. Would you be happy with that result? Or how would you feel if you were making an extra 25,500 per month? Dude, that'd be insane. Okay. Well, that's 24,500. That's, man, my math, I got fat fingers. So essentially, that's an extra $294,000 a year just by having a brand taken over your town on Instagram and following this strategy. Is it fair to say if you don't do this, you're also losing that? Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Well, let me ask you, man. Like, do you feel like based on the plan that I just walked you through, that this strategy can help you, you know, not only grow but hit numbers like that, or like, maybe, or I also don't want to change everything on you guys, but like it's something to play with, you know.
Yeah, I actually like that so much. Like the transition is gonna help me out because it's kind of weird from like, hey, any questions? So like, okay, here's the price, silence.
Yeah.
Like I like this a lot more. And
Yeah.
then do you think I should
Like
have these specific numbers on it, or should I like leave it blank? Like what it costs to do nothing? How much are you making?
I would probably leave it blank. The other thing too is like if they go, oh, dude, I don't know if 294,000 is realistic. Then you say, okay, so like let's say that was only half of that, so that was an extra $147,000 per year. Would that be enough? If you made just an extra 147K this year, would that be worth it for you? Like for you to invest time, money, energy into solving this problem? Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I mean, do you believe it's possible? Yeah. Like if from this strategy. Oh, definitely. Okay. Why? Oh, because it just makes sense. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Well, where do you want to go from here? Armando, what's up, man?
Would you say that it's more important to focus on the fundamentals first before trying to implement like a pitch deck like this?
Uh, I think you should have, I mean, this to me is a fundamental, like
Mm.
having like a clear, succinct way to explain what you do and having like, you know, uh, at least some pitch organized in your mind where you're like, you know, exactly how you're explaining it, how you're positioning it, how it like, you're explaining in a way where it sounds really good. And they're like, dude, this sounds exactly what I need. Like, this is perfect. So like the temp check is the fundamentals. The pitch, you can always like make it better. But as far as what I'm seeing on the screen right now, the specific slide, like I would probably leave these blank. Like,
Yeah. Armando, I
uh,
would probably do a pitch deck if I was you, just because I noticed that I probably had like 10 sales calls without one, and I'm like all over the place. Everything's inconsistent. And then with the pitch deck, it's like a lot more structured, and now I just have to refine the deck. So it's helping me out a lot, just staying on course.
I'm actually considering doing it, but I think I'm gonna limit it to like 3 or 2 pages, and maybe even just like a Google Doc, and where it's like, hey, this is what I do, and just a screenshot of like the meta targeting, where it's like a circle around Facebook, I mean, around San Antonio, and then at the end, just like, hey,
yeah.
this is like the Klarna thing.
Well, dude, I saw Los's pitch. He doesn't have a pitch deck, but he has like a Miro board with a few like random images on it, and he draws it out and explains it, and then he shows, you know, uh, people's Instagrams, his clients' Instagrams. He shows like his DMs because he has a DM setter and he helps him get DM setters part of his offer. Um, he just kind of just in a way wings it, but it is like the same each time. It's working
Yeah.
for him.
That's what I was doing too. I was doing the Miro board, and I also do the same thing where I take them to my DMs. I'm like, look, I spoke with you for 30 minutes, and my setter already sent out 10 messages, and he's booking a
Yeah,
call while I'm doing high leverage tasks, like talking. And they're like, whoa, I want that. That's like
yeah,
in my pitch every time as well.
yeah. That stuff's solid.
How much is a setter?
Dude, if you're still, dude, I would get
Me,
one if I was you. 250 a month. and then
Hmm.
$50 per closing. Like I see your text or you're in the Slack and you're like, I can't produce content or I have to do this or this. Like find a way to make $250 extra. That's the biggest investment you're gonna get back because if you make a sale, it's gonna be $50 more. But dude, like you're gonna probably 10x your business by doing that and save so much time.
Yeah,
How
like
many?
you can freaking like they don't charge much. Like I would
Mhm.
probably
It's
pretty good.
because when I was at Chick-fil-A, I was working already like 12 hours a day, and I was still sending about 80 to 120 DMs a day. And like right
Yeah.
now, I don't have that schedule anymore, so I know I can probably send more, but I don't know. Like right now, I don't know. I feel like unless I have more consistency in the leads, I can't really get one yet. I don't know how many deals are you guys closing, or how many deals are you closing right now, Terrace?
I mean, not that much. That's why I'm on the call with Ben. But I have a lot of leads coming in, which is like
Yeah.
my VA is hitting them hard. But like that allows me time to actually record content and post new content and test things out. Like I got a VA setter pretty quick, even when I started my account from brand new, and like there wasn't a lot of leads coming in. But I had my DMs. As long as your DMs are down and you hop on Tyler a lot, then I would say it's worth it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. But back to the pitch, because no, you guys, I haven't ate all day, so I gotta eat, but I just want to get through it.
Yeah.
So I'll move this right before pitch and price. I love that. Um,
Yeah.
and then I go to like introducing the harvest method, kind of give them like a sneak peek who it's for, and if it's, I paint the picture for them like, all right, this is for businesses that are have been in the business like for this, and it's not if someone wants to get rich quick scheme or whatever. And then I kind of, it seems like you fall into like this section. I kind of like tailor it to them. And then I kind of like sneak peek like these right here, three phases.
Mm, who it's not for. Who it's for. I don't know if I love this.
Try to scrap it.
I mean, the phases is fine. Um,
It's supposed to like show that I don't just work with everyone and kind of like make them feel special, I guess,
I
or build my authority.
think it would be people that, you know, they want a system that work like local service businesses who are looking for a proven system that works. They're willing to put in the work. They want to learn it themselves so that they can eventually do it themselves. And they're ready to invest the time, money, and energy to do that. This is not for people that just want like, a system that they're like basically, well, I don't know if a quick fix would be the right thing, but like, I mean, maybe you could probably just have, um,
You think I should just adjust it then?
yeah. The other thing in Jacob's pitch, which I forgot to mention, was that in the phases, like when I explain them, like my average client spends 1,000 to 1,500 a month. Like I usually add the ad spend in the phases, not at the price drop. Because if you don't bring it up, sometimes they'll ask, or they'll
Good
probably
point.
usually ask. You probably have that in there.
Yeah, I'll have to
Uh,
put it because I don't, and then they always ask me in the end.
yeah. I mean, dude, like you just think of all the questions that, God damn it, stop zooming in on me. You just think of all the questions they ask at the end. Just find places to put them in the pitch. Ad spend's definitely going to be one of them.
Yeah, 100%. And then I only have 12 slides, so I focus on like the things. And that's when I pull up, I go to Instagram and be like, Carlos, sign up with us for this. He had 1,500 followers. I show them the ad. He's at the time 3,100. Now he's at 3,700 and growing every day. And then this guy started with brand new account, zero followers. He was at 340. He's at 500 plus. Closed two deals. As the first day we dropped the ad, and he's booking consistently since. Angel, he was chasing leads, and now leads are coming to him, and he gets to choose who he works with. So hitting different like success stories.
Yeah. I can just see this also kind of like working against you if they don't have dollar figures like Jacob has.
Mm.
Um, but anyway, like, what does consistent growth mean? Leads coming to him. Okay, cool. Like, he's generated X amount of leads in his first 30 days, even if he generated 200 leads in his first 30 days. You know, Joshua generated 350 leads in his first 60 days. Got 2 clients day one. I'd probably tweak that.
Okay.
Uh, so anyway,
And then I go to the phases. Phase one, optimize your profile. We do a cinematic ad video because I heard you talk about him like instead of just an ad, make it sexy, and then nurturing videos. Um, so we just make you visible every single day.
yeah. So in in this, like if I'm explaining this, like how many of your clients or your prospects have tried Instagram stuff before? Like what would you say their sophistication level is? Usually not
Uh,
tried, have tried something.
Most have tried.
Okay, good. So I would probably have something in here about what most people do wrong, or like basically like the last thing you want them thinking is I can do this myself, or I already know that, or like I've tried that, didn't work. The thing you want them to thinking is like, oh, this is the reason why it didn't work for me. Oh, I was missing, like all these things go together is what makes it work. So you need, first of all, you need the visibility, which comes from these three things, like having the right profile, the right cinematic ad, and then the right videos to nurture your new followers and like get them to like know, like, and trust you before you try to take them to the next step, which is conversations and conversions or connections and conversions or whatever.
That's a good point. I usually mention it of like, okay, so the cinematic ad video, this is what we do, and I break down why it works. And if they do have tried it, I'm like, okay, you posted random stuff and you tried boosting these posts. It didn't work because you didn't run the ad correctly. And I kind of dive into that, but it's not in my pitch deck. Do you think I should add it to it?
I would, because right there it's kind of generic.
Okay, so make it like switch it like half, like what most people do wrong, how we do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Turns visitors into followers instantly. I feel like you need to explain why they want followers, because most people don't want followers, they want leads.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the reason why we want followers first is because it allows you, it's a way easier ask, first of all, to get followers, right? It's cheaper to get them. Follower, if we're targeting with the ad correctly and you have the right profile and the right video and the right content on your page, like you're going to not just get followers, but followers with intent, or like like your ideal followers or whatever. It's not just about followers, but your ideal followers. You can't just buy followers and make money because like they're all fake bots, right? But you need real people in your town who are looking for your service or would be like the right demographics or psychographics or whatever. And that's why you need all three of these things together, right? When you do that and you start getting followers, well, then we just have to nurture them and start conversations with them and convert them. And that's phase two or whatever.
Makes sense. And then I'll switch to phase two, conversion. Once you have a bunch of leads coming to you, we need a way to track them. We have the proven systems to actually, or I say like start with DM, like we have proven frameworks how to actually like turn them into paying customers. And then we need to be able to track all the leads and make sure they don't slip through the cracks. And then I go to KPI. Like I want to be able to look at your
Well,
account. See, go ahead.
it says without lifting a finger. Like, do you have VAs that you're setting them up with?
My next thing is VA, copying Jacob. And I'm saying like all you need is phase one and phase two realistically to change your business. That you getting more leads and converting them to paying customers. Phase three is a bonus. A lot of people don't need this, but if you do, it helps you stay out of the role. That's kind of how I've been pitching it.
Well, like I would like solve like phase three is like solving the problem that phase one and two creates. So like now that you're busy, you have way more demand, way more leads, way more sales, you're making way more money. Now, as your time gets busy, like more and more scarce, Well, yeah, I have the next part is helping you hand off and automate this, whether it's with a VA or with one of your own employees or family members or whatever. I'll show you how to hand this off so that you can just focus on closing sales and building your business. So
Hmm.
it's like step out of the grind, yeah, step into the role of CEO, like freedom systems or whatever. Phase three is freedom systems.
Okay, so I've been doing this as optional that because I have what do they call it? Two prices. But what I can do instead is like after everything's dialed in, we get you a lot of things and all the fulfillment and all you're busy. You can either get a VA, do it your or have someone on your team do it, or probably talk about ManyChat a little bit, or just not even focus on that.
Um, hmm.
Because how do you pitch them freedom without putting a lot of pressure on someone on their team or using a VA?
You don't.
What are your thoughts on phase three then? Is this, but realistically,
Like,
I feel like most people are not going to be buying the more expensive package. And this won't really apply to a lot of people.
well, I know Los just pitches like when Los pitches it, it's they don't have a choice. That's what they get a VA from day one. He pays for their first month, trains them, and is a VA manager who manages them, and then after that they pay them and whatever the fee is. So I guess it's up to you. I would probably ask him like, okay, cool. So, um, do you feel like you would be the one that you would want to learn this yourself and maybe train somebody on your team to do it for you so that you had somebody running this for you, or would you rather uh hand that off to me and my team, or like have us place like a trained virtual assistant appointment setter into your business that does it all for you, and that way you can just focus on closing the sales and having this all run pretty much hands off. Which one would you want? Definitely the second one. Okay, cool. So that would be our XYZ package or whatever.
Okay. So, and then I hit him with the frequently asked questions right before I hit him with the price. So I try to do the rest of the, like, what is it? I think you call it like putting in the bullets before firing them in or whatever it is. Like, make sure that they don't have anything else. Be like, all right, boom, and then hit them with the price.
Hmm. Ideally, I like to see those before they get on the call, but I mean, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, this
Here,
is just
I would
like a
have,
buffer.
yeah, I would have, um, what questions do you have? Here are some frequently asked questions, but what other questions outside of this do you have? How do you feel about the system? Okay, cool. Either that, or I would do the ROI calculator before this, and then this. Ask question. What questions do you have? Temp check, and then hit them with the price drop,
Yeah.
or next steps, and then price drop. So next steps are you'll process the investment here with me. We'll get you onboarded. I'll send you over forms, schedule your shoot date, and then we'll we'll book your film date or whatever. Makes
Okay.
sense.
So
Cool.
I
Where do
think
you
I
want
need
to
to
go from
add
there?
in
How much is
uh
it?
a next steps section. That way they know like, hey, after I pitch the price, all right, next step is to give me your card because I feel like I choke on that. Because they're like, okay, what does it do? I'm like, oh, okay, let me send you the link. Like I need to be able to like nail it down prior so that they're ready when they're paying, that they get that link in like in their mind it's already unlocked, right?
Yeah. So like just ask for sale. Yeah. I mean, well, assuming we can make the payments or the investment work for you, do you want to do it? Okay, great. How would you like to pay? Or like, how are you feeling about everything? Feeling pretty good. Awesome. You ready to get started? Cool. What card do you want to put that on?
Okay. I think I'm gonna delete this, ready to start harvesting. Let's rock and roll. And I'm gonna add next steps probably right before. Um or
Yeah,
the
there should be like I would either use this as I would have like an ROI calculator right before this. Or no, I think what I would do is maybe you can play with them, but like either do this one. What questions do you have on the process? How do you feel about it? Okay, cool. Hey, you like, and then do an ROI calculator, and then do temp check, and then do next steps, and then do price drop, or do the ROI calculator before this, and then hit say what questions do you have? How do you feel? You know, scale 1 to 10, 10 being this sounds exactly what I need. One being like, I hate this, get me off the call right now. Uh, where would you land on the process?
Mm.
Dude, I'm like an 8. Okay. It's pretty high. Why aren't you, any reason why you're not like a 4? No, dude, I mean, this sounds really good. Okay, so like what would I guess take you from an 8 to a 10? Well, I don't know. I'd have to do it. Okay, like on the process, so do you feel like if you did it, it can work for you? Yeah. Or I don't know. Okay, so like interesting. Is there any particular part of the process that you don't understand or you don't feel like would work for you or for your business specifically? What is that? Okay, let's talk about it. Now, how do you feel? Oh, now I'm feeling like a 10 now. Okay, cool. Where do you want to go from here? Make
Love it.
sense?
Yeah, I do my temp check right here when I'm like, okay, after I do this, okay, recap everything. Uh, do you think this program will work for you? Other than price aside and whatever, I just do the temp check and then they
It's
like,
not this
okay,
program. It's the program and the process are different. It's the process
okay, the process. Yeah.
or this process or this strategy or this method, whatever you want to call it.
So no pro wait, so what word to avoid?
Because like program is saying, hey, are you basically going to buy? Which is not what we're asking. We're asking like, how do you feel on if you
Process
did this
itself.
strategy, do you 100% feel like it would work to get you from point A to point B? Okay, interesting. Why do you feel like it can? Okay, cool. Because if you say, do you feel like this program would work? Really, even though you might intend the same thing, in their mind, they might be like, well, I don't know. How much is it?
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like word choice is like very like specific in this part of the call.
Yeah, I
Like,
like that.
not even if it could work. Do you feel like this will work or do you feel like this can work? There's like more definitive language. And if you want to amp it up, it's like, do you feel like this can 100% work to get you to your goal of 20K per month? 100%. I'll say it twice. I'll say 100% twice. Well, I'm not 100%. Okay. Interesting. What's coming up for you? Is there any particular reason why you feel like it wouldn't? Well, no, I don't know. I mean, like I just never really had success with ads. Okay. Well, did you have a strategy that you followed? Did you have somebody else run them? Did you run them? Like, ideally, you already talked about this in the discovery, but
Love it. And then do you think we should still stick with the two prices on one, or should I do 12,000 first and hit them with the 7,500 next? Like normally we charge 12,000 for all this, but I think this one would be at a better option for you, 7,500, based on what we spoke about.
well, it's the same thing as Jacobs, where you have like the VA is part of the process, and then if you go back to the previous slide where they say, "What if I'm too busy?" Well, oh, well, that's why you need a VA. But then if you're pitching them an option where they don't have some of the features that were in the main offer, like it doesn't really make sense. So I would have it just cool. So it's 12K. So like you could do like an incentive based price drop where it's like cool. So the way it works with me is like we use what we call an action takers discount. Essentially, the reason why we do that is twofold. Number one, our best, most successful clients are quick decision makers. Number two, it saves me a ton of time and back and forth and following up with people that may or may not be serious, right? So for that reason, um, the everyday price for the system is for the next 3 months is $12,000. So if you leave, you come back and want to think about it for a day or a week or a month or a year, it's going to be 12K unless we happen to raise the price, which I do. Um, in terms of the action takers discount, you have two options available to you right now. Number one, you can do two payments of $5,000 split 30 days apart for a total savings of 2 grand. Or you can do a pay in full single payment of 9K, which saves you $3,000 off of the everyday price. Make sense? And then you just stop talking.
Bro,
And then
that's
if like, dude, I don't
weird.
have, yeah, if they're like, I don't have that, then you can just say, well, I do have a starter package. It doesn't have the VA, it doesn't have this, but it is a lower amount, 7,500. But I would try to sell them on the 12K.
Okay. I like that. I might have to go back and look at the recording because that was like a ton of nuggets, and I'm like a little bit too tired right now to pick all that up. So I might have to. Oh shoot, I don't think I'm recording. But
I'm recording it. It's fine. That
okay,
was around the two
sweet.
hour, 28-minute mark.
Okay, sweet. That's gonna change up my pitch deck a lot, and I think that's gonna fix a lot of things for me. So I appreciate you breaking everything down because this is kind of a game changer.
Yeah, dude. I mean, a good pitch. I mean, there's a reason I call it $1 million pitch, man. Like a good pitch, they should be like, oh fuck, like this is badass. This is exactly what I need, and like they should be ready to buy typically by like phase two. That was the way I went with Boris's. Like there's so much value just in the first two phases. They're like, dude, this is exactly what I need. Oh shit, there's even more. Like this is crazy. Like, uh, so it takes work, but you know, if you ever get people going, oh well, can I talk to your other clients? Like that's because you don't have a good pitch.
Hmm.
Like it that would with the right pitch, they should feel retarded for asking that.
I've never got that question yet, but maybe it's there. I don't know. It'll come.
It might. Ideally, it doesn't. Anyway, you guys have anything else before we wrap it up? Jacob, you got anything?
Nothing. I think I did used to get a lot of people asking, can I talk to my other clients before I adjusted it?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna adjust again. I'm assuming it's one of those things where you just adjust often, um, which I'm
Yeah.
fine with.
I had to adjust, dude. Like I went back and forth with um freaking like 6 times on Boris's pitch over the course of like 2 months. Just when I thought I got it really good, he was like fucking rip it to shreds again. I'm like, damn it. But by the end of it, you're like, damn, this is pretty good. Anywho,
Anywho, I'm pumped. I'm excited for my next call because I'm trying to adjust all this stuff and apply it. So like I'm trying to book my next call ASAP. So I'll keep you guys updated.
Book 'em in. Book 'em in.
Appreciate all the input. Thanks for reminding us for the call, Jacob, because I was busy and I would have missed it
So much value, bro.
for sure.
hell
Okay,
yeah.
thanks, guys.
All right.
All right.
Well, guys,
Thanks, man.
I'll drop the recording when it's processed. Oh, I see Jacob. You give me another little goat emoji. I'll drop the recording here in like an hour or whenever it's processed, and then see you guys on Friday. Well,
Appreciate it.
Jacob, see you tomorrow.
All righty.
All right, guys. Peace.
Thanks.